Yeah.
And they won the toss.
You're watching the Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship, presented by Sunoco.
A new era for American cricket began in 2021.
There it goes into a dive! Wicket!
The rise of cricket was celebrated across the country. Now, with big wickets and even bigger hits, the stars of minor league cricket are back and better than ever.
Primus goes huge!
Don't miss the nation's largest league competing for the biggest prize in American cricket. The Toyota Minor League Championship returns this summer, live on Willow TV.
The gift that keeps on giving, the 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Sunoco. This week, we join the fantastic facilities at Morgan Hill back in California, this time south of Silicon Valley, for the East Bay Blazers up against the Golden State Grizzlies. This one promises to be a thriller. Next to me, the cricket commentator, Suhas Vedam. Suhas, great to have you again for Minor League. How much have you enjoyed it, and in overall the quality and caliber of the cricket?
The cricket on offer has been excellent. The caliber that you just mentioned is just going through the roof. Every week we see the teams improving in terms of balance, in terms of technique. And of course, it's been a treat to be here alongside you calling the game.
Well, let's have a look at how things have gone down in a very tight Pacific Conference, especially in a Western Conference where, remember, only 2 teams can come out. You look at, we're just about to get ready to start, but the they're unbeaten today. Very important for this Blazers team after losing 2 games that they're able to win and pick up momentum. Let's have a look at the toss a bit earlier where we had the 2 captains, Angelo Pereira as well as Sami Aslam. The toss won by Pereira. Interesting decision for the Blazers that they won the toss and elected to bowl first in very bright sunny conditions here. Pretty heavy outfield. Be interesting to see how the surface plays throughout. Well, throughout this tournament, Suhas, we've analysis from our good friend at the MLC Network, Nate Hayes. Let's hear what Nate has to say about this matchup, which is so crucial for both these teams.
East Bay Blazers, Golden State Grizzlies. I'm wearing green right now to balance out my sunburn, but I'm also green with envy. This kicks off an amazing weekend, Nikhil and Suhas, and you're right in the thick of it, and I am jealous. 3 weeks into the season, and the big games are already here. The Grizzlies fell short of the finals last year, but have reloaded with Ahsan Adil, the league leader in wickets right now with 13. And Sami Aslam and Zia Shahzad won the Altius NSL Championship on this very ground just a few weeks ago. Mark Dayal and Angelo Pereira have been model all-rounders for East Bay, and Sanjay Krishnamurthy hopes to follow their lead and get right back in the conversation for Emerging Player of the Week. If he does, and if David White keeps up his form, you're in for a very close game. I wouldn't miss it.
Two fantastic words to describe that, a close game. Here's the lineups for the Blazers. They've made a couple changes. The likes of Muhammad Tariq comes in for Srinivas Mohan, and Gaurav Kera also comes in. You look at that lineup, very reliant on a Mark Dayal, on an Angelo Pereira. Well, the Grizzlies?
The Grizzlies quite settled with Sami Aslam and Karan Chandel, who is an explosive batter up top. Zia Shahzad, and I really believe the man Ahsan Adil will have the ball in hand yet again as the team relies on him for pace and early wickets.
Well, there you have it. The news from the middle. The two openers there as well. Sami Aslam, the captain, the leader, and the main run scorer for this Grizzlies team. He's out in the middle. Karan Chandel. This partnership has been so important. Sami Aslam there, the man from Pakistan, former international cricketer. 500 runs in the 2021 season. He's already had a blistering start this year. He needs some help from Chandel. This is a very impactful opening partnership for this team. Mark Dayal, the overseas pro, the wildcard player for this East Bay Blazers team. What an all-round season he's had in just 5 matches. He'll be opening the bowling for the East Bay Blazers.
A terrific all-rounder indeed, Nikhil. Assumes a lot of responsibility in the power play as well, and loves to push the ball through. Understandably so, you can't fly the ball, especially with just 2 men patrolling the boundary ropes. Now one is a very wide long off there. And the other one patrolling the boundary rope shall be man posted in the deep on the leg side. Just in front to square. Mark Dayal all set to push this one through as quickly as possible.
All set and ready to go. First weekend in Morgan Hill, California. And first delivery coming up. Dayal to Sami Aslam. Kev, getting a lot of echo and feedback in my ear. I don't know, I think through your audio. Somewhere someone has an open mic. First delivery on the money from Mark Dayal, a man that comes in with a lot of experience at the professional T20 level. He's been in and around that Trinbago Knight Riders team for a while. Then obviously he's found his rhythm in the St. Lucia Kings. Oh, good start. You think Suhas as an off spinner. Pretty easy decision for Pereira to go to Dayal, who goes very important overs for this Blazers team, but to the left-handed Sami Aslam.
Oh yes, as soon as the left-hander walks out, you know, Mark Dayal's eyes are going agog. And Angelo Pereira, someone who comes from the land of spin, is a spinner's captain.
Oh, well bowled, Mark boy.
Starting well. I love this line from Dayal. You can see he's challenging the stumps. All first 3 deliveries he's made in play. It's what you like to see early on.
That's exactly why a slip is deployed to.
Down the track this time. We have seen this from Sami Aslam. He likes to go to that early on, especially to the spin. Likes to get close to the pitch of the ball and look to maximize those fielding restrictions. Just too allowed outside.
Doesn't want Mark Dayal to get settled over here. So far, so good for Mark Dayal.
Interesting decision. It's Karan Chandel, the opening partner for Sami Aslam. He'll face his first delivery. Just good start to the season for him. 159 runs already in just 5 innings. He's already got a half century to his name. So he's looking to kick on. These two very important in what's been an inconsistent batting lineup over the 2 seasons for the Grizzlies. They rely a lot on these openers against this new ball. We'll get off the mark straight away.
Maki, do you need me?
The Golden State Grizzlies, they want Karan Chandel to be the explosive batter that he's known to be. Try and take every single bowler on. while Sami Aslam provides the quieter knock and the longer knock. That's been the template so far. Chasing 170 plus, you saw what Sami Aslam did.
Gets it early on, Dale strikes. And it's the captain walking back. Pulled back the length, made him reach. And in the end, the pace, the spin deceiving him. Huge strike for the East Bay Blazers.
Homework done, homework executed. Captain Aslam, he's got to depart. This is good captaincy from his counterpart there. Angelo Pereira throwing it to Mark Dayal, and this is why.
Well, it went straight through the gate. Sami Aslam likes to play square, but he's got to go very early. Aslam walking back on the brink of the first over. Just one for him. Short run out ends, 2 for 1.
This is our camera. This is our main.
These are cameras. This was on TV.
This was on TV. Okay, got it.
Vikas, you want to go to sleep?
Yeah, 1 minute. Huh? Can I get the bat, sir?
Zia Shazad out to the middle, in at number 3. A very important innings for someone that struggled with to get runs. This opening pair, Suhas, has been
I will have to go to the
in a real spot of bother when you look at sort of the starts. Every time they've started well, Karan Shandel, Sami Aslam, they've been a different team batting first. Just 2 50-run partnerships between the two. One worth 76, the other 68. And on both those occasions, they were able to get 175 plus. So interesting to see now with the early wicket, how does that batting lineup adjust?
A little more pressure on Zia Shehzad, who's walked out to bat.
Sir. More.
One of the stalwarts as far as the Golden State
That's your
Grizzlies
one
are concerned. Now Zia is inheriting a very poor scorecard because this is the way Sami Aslam departed.
That's your 1 center, sir.
You can see there, Dale,
The ball is
really
right on
good
over.
delivery. That was the first one. Almost already was challenging those stumps on the 3 previous deliveries to Sami Aslam. Set him up so well.
Yeah, you could see that the entire over, he was trying to manacle the left-hander inside the crease.
So see him into the attack, and it will be a boundary. Almost a gift for Karan Shandel. Down the ground, easy pickings, he won't miss out on that.
And that will calm the nerves of Karan. Early on in the innings, you're always looking for that first boundary. It sort of tells you many things are going right for you. Karan gets a gift, as you rightly put. And didn't try to hit it hard as well, just concentrates on timing.
Yeah, it doesn't have the pace, so it was always going to be easy in the end. And not going to complain too much about that. And it also helped some of that pressure, which would have come from that early wicket. Much better in terms of the length. Trying to find that rhythm. Well, interesting decision by the captain, as Mohammad Tariq brought in today in place, as we mentioned before, of Srinivas Mohan. So he's starting with that newer ball, relies a lot more on swing.
Catch it.
This time over mid-off again, and he'll have 4 more written on it. A good start by Shandel, who's shown that he can adapt to any situation for this Grizzlies team. He's been an important run getter. He will be equal to that today.
Welcome, Mohammad Tariq is written all over it. He's missed his mark there. Now, even though Midoff thought he was in play for just a moment, Karan knew he's got the elevation. Now he started to look dangerous. This is the way Karan usually bats as well. He's got to bat his normal way, even though a wicket has fallen early on. I think that is the script that's been given to him from the management. Continue to attack.
This time in the onside. A mid-wicket in place. He can only watch it. Even better. 4-4 and then maximum. Really good from this second over. Taking the attack. Taking the charge to the East Bay Blazers.
Yeah, not a good start for Tariq. Just no breathing space. Couple of boundaries and then a biggie. Well, that was huge. From the moment it left the bat, he knew he struck it so well. Didn't even bother running.
I think with this field and in this power play for Mohammad Tariq, who's much slower than that genuine pacer, trying to get the ball to swing, is why he's got a pat slip cordon as well. Or had, I should say, but he can't be that full because even with that mid-wicket, Sanjay Krishnamurthy, he's got some work to do in the car park. Never easy, and those cars there as well, they have to be careful. Could see a couple of broken windows based on the hitting that we have to come today. Angelo Pereira, Mark Dayal, Hamad Azam into the 11.
This is a much-needed meeting for Tariq with Nawaz. While Sanjay Krishnamurthy tries his best to retrieve the ball. He signed up for getting the ball from inside the play area, and suddenly he's been asked to look at the tires of many cars and look underneath for the piece of leather. But Tariq's not happy, and why would he be? He's given away 14 in just 4 balls.
Well, you can see there, looking for that ball still, trying to retrieve it. This game of cricket produces so many unexpected events.
In Houston, we saw that the ball disappears into the forest. It's difficult to retrieve. There is our hero. He's found it.
It's the man that's taken the first wicket, Mark Dayal. Doing everything at the moment.
And he wants that ball, doesn't he? Because it's providing wickets to him.
I expect him to come back into the attack, but also very interested to see how Pereira uses him in the last game, bowled the final over. So he's been sort of that flexible option, bowling in the power play, bowling in the death. Something we see from some of your best bowlers. Isan Adil for the Grizzlies, you'll see him bowl 2 up front and then probably 2 in the back end if required. So always interested to see in T20 such an interesting dynamic in terms of management of your strike bowlers.
Karan Chandel gets off, starts 300 the strike rate. And if he stays around, then we're in for a treat. It's not the biggest of boundaries, mind you, but he can make any ground look minuscule. When he's on song, Karan Chandel. And Tariq has learned it the hard way. He's someone who relies a lot on swing. Oh, it's got to pitch it up, isn't it? Looks like it's going to be a knuckleball.
Yeah, much better length, because when you're that full, with no pace on it, you can really strike down the ground. But because of these small boundaries and quick outfield, showing his touch on this occasion, Chandel, opening the face, more runs and more pressure for the Blazers.
Karan Chandel revealing another shade of himself. The first 3 deliveries were about power, this one just about placement. Beautifully squeezed it in the gap, no chance for Nawaz with the fast approaching boundary rope.
I don't mind that option though from Mohammad Tariq, trying to make him play square. It's a much bigger boundary on both the on and off side square of the batter. But just, Chandel was just better to the task. Full toss again. Cracked, but luckily for him, straight to extra cover. Could have easily been another boundary. Ends a very expensive over for the East Bay Blazers. 20 for 1 after 2.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस, इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, तेरे घर लाने का।
My son, he's so soft-spoken. Everyone says he's so good-looking, and he never forgets to call.
Hi, Mom. Born for your trousseau, the 2022 Tundra. Toyota, let's go places.
Well, this 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Sunoco has produced fantastic action. 3rd weekend here from Morgan Hill, California. For now joining us, the Grizzlies. That's a big setback for them, losing the captain, Sami Aslam, in the very first over. And the man that made it happen, Mark Dayal, back into the attack for his second. Maybe looking for more.
talked about the way captain uses Mark Dayal, isn't it? Gives him a couple of overs initially in the power play, then towards the end as well. It's a little different from what the erstwhile captain did with White.
Well, the one thing you'll observe from Mark Dayal, in all 8 of his first, 8 deliveries, he's been on a good or short length. Because of how small and the dimensions of this field, the straight boundary extremely small. The smallest of the boundaries here. This one edged and just past that man at slip. More runs.
Go on.
We'll have to do really well to get that. Won't get it. So another boundary, the runs beginning to flow. And Zia Shazad, who struggled for runs, but it wouldn't matter how they come at this stage. He's off the mark.
Come on, Anji. Sorry? Come on.
Now, how much of it was deliberate? Less of it. Now, but at this kind of an outfield, you get it in the gap, it's going to run away for 4. Mark Dayal knows that. That's another challenge that he's battling.
Oh! Excellent delivery. And you can see there, went full. And immediately Zia Shazad, the previous delivery, was happy to try to attack him down the ground. As he pulls back that length, the length that worked so well against Sami Assam for the first 5 deliveries of this innings, able to make something happen. So the off spinner, who's got a very good reputation coming into this, watched a lot of him in the Caribbean. Mentioned him playing for that St. Lucia Kings franchise, opening the batting for them. This team, he's got a different role. Bowling a lot more overs. 3. Of course, this 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Sunoco has been excellent to have international talents like him here. Taking the game globally.
Nice sticking to the basics as well. Mark Dayal bowling it straight, bowling it quicker. Doesn't want to give any room to Karan Chandel, who's thriving on room at the moment. 19 of 8. What a good
shot in front. Umpire, though, maybe just sliding down. Not interested, but a really good end to the over. A much better one for the East Bay Blazers. Just the 5 runs from it. 25 for 1. Well, it was a really good shout on the back leg as well. Mark Dayal was extremely excited. Here it is again. This time, this angle, hard to tell, but you can see hit him on the back leg. Interesting call from the umpire early on.
The bowling change. Right on over.
Well, things happening early on. It's been an eventful start. We had a really good first over from the Blazers. Just went for 2 runs, picked up a wicket, but then 18 runs from Mohamed Tariq, and now Nawaz Khan will come into the attack for the first time today. Have to chop and change. Nawaz Khan, who picked up 12 wickets in that 2021 season, and be looking to keep his economy rate. That's been the key. Been able to just go at under 7 runs and over. For Zia Shazad, though, as you mentioned, Suhas, 54 runs, average of only 10. For a man that bats at number 3 and is so important. His bowling, though, he's been up there in terms of the wickets. Top delivery to start.
I'll be interested to see the length that Nawaz decides to bowl in the first over. Again, with the pace bowler, you want momentum first up. Different length, perhaps, and he loves to bowl at the turf wickets, of course.
Well, the key here will be 2 things for bowlers, especially on both spectrum to consider, whether pace or spin. First of all, the sides, playing on the far left surface here. So you want to make sure that you're able to cut out that smaller side, and then those straight boundaries, especially from the other end. We saw Mark Dayal tried to prevent. He did really well in his first 2 overs. The other bowlers have got to follow in that same set. To play outside that off stop. That will excite Angelo Pereira and the East Bay Blazers.
I love the bounce on it as well. If that is something that Nawaz can extract on a regular basis, then he'll be challenging the outside edge of the batter.
Hello.
The batter will be caught on the hop. On that occasion, Zia was slightly late. I think he was preparing for another over of spin, and Zia realizes it's going to be Nawaz steaming in. He's allowed to take a little bit of time because Karan Chandel's got off to a flying start. So far, so good for Nawaz.
Full again, this time in the air and taken. The struggles continue for Zia Shahzad with the bat in hand. And this East Bay Blazers, when they've been under the pump and on the back foot, they've struck and came back extremely well.
A big moment. Zia Shahzad, who's looking to break free. The pressure of 3-dot ball showing. Simplest of catches. This is exactly what Grizzlies did not want, to lose a batter in this fashion, and that too of Zia's stature. Doesn't get a start today.
Shahzad gone for 5, 25 for 2 now. So huge wicket for the Blazers, and also huge trouble for this Golden State Grizzlies team. Shivam Mishra, who's played some rebuilding innings for this team over the season so far. They've had to adapt. Sami Aslam, he's gotten some starts in this tournament, but when he has failed, they have lost early wickets. Karan Chandel, though, still battling, still there. Mishra, an important passage of play coming up in terms of him being able to bat through this innings. They'd have to consolidate for the time being. 119 runs coming into this. Striking it over 150 as well.
Shivam Mishra. Amazing technique. Someone who's so technically sound is required at this moment when they're doing a little bit. Earlier in the day, when the sun is of course beating down, but we saw certain patches which have grass and it's slightly wet.
Excellent length.
Ball again.
A bit of indecision, but in the end, a quick single. So mentioned Nawaz Khan, 12 wickets last year, a decent numbers from him. You look at his 22 average and economy rate of 6.6, but when you looked at sort of how this team has fared, they've won 3 games and they've lost 2. The East Bay Blazers in a conference where you have the strikers who are unbeaten. This Grizzlies team who've only lost 1 game. Seattle who've come back really strong. You cannot afford to lose too many games, especially up front. They need more weight to be pulled by their bowlers, by players like Nawaz Khan. Only 2 wickets coming into this encounter.
334 runs for Shivam.
Bowling right arm over.
Scored a terrific 83 not out. Guided his team home just recently, and loves the PVCC as well back in Houston. Now he's got to write another chapter where he could end by saying, I love Morgan Hill too. At the moment, bit of mending work might be the case.
Well, of course, all the action on DAFA News, our official sponsors of this tournament. So fantastic to see all the latest action. Good delivery, all the global news, not only on cricket, not only on sports, but globally. Been great to have them on for the first season, 2022. Excellent delivery to end the over by Nawaz Khan. A wicket-taking one for the Grizzlies, 26 for 2.
Vicky, come on to this side.
The Golden State Grizzlies for early on. Sami Aslam departed for 1. Karan Chandel's got off to a good start, striking at 200 at the moment. Zia Mohammad Shahzad was the second one to go. 26 for 2 in 4 overs.
For him, you want mid-wicket.
Well, Mark Dayal, the interesting call from the skipper.
Catch
Goes
it!
back to him, this time in the onside. Man in the deep, but doesn't carry. David White position at mid-wicket.
Back up.
So opting to go for a bit of a gamble for this final over of the power play. They've done well to take 2 early wickets. Still 2 deliveries remaining. Sorry, 2 overs remaining in this first 6.
Now that the second wicket has fallen, it's very interesting to see Karan Chandel still taking the bowler on. Mark Dayal as he gets the 3rd over on the trot. Shivam Mishra, the new man in.
Come in front, come in front. Sanju.
Another good delivery. And they are already making things happen. Many people remember that second game for the Golden State Grizzlies against the San Diego Surf Riders. They were in similar trouble, 20 for 3 early on. Karan Chandel was able to stick in for his team, 71 from 47, and Notwich got them up to 179 for 5. And in the end, they won pretty convincingly by 98 runs. So Chandel will be so important now, having lost Aslam and Zia Shazad.
Always it! Always it!
Was it Pat first?
Just one appeal is okay.
Yeah, you could see the umpire right away suggesting, calm down. He's pushing the batter behind now. He's pushing the batter on the back foot. Oh, that was as quick as possible and just went on with the angle. Didn't turn at all. It's the illusion of spin that is taking the batter by surprise.
Sorry, bro. My bad.
Dead ball.
My bad.
Mark Dayal is also a good friend of the captain because he gets through the overs
Catch in
so
the deep,
quickly.
catch in the deep, guys.
Yeah, they have been very strict. It's been a credit to MLC. They've been very strict on the enforcement of slow over rate and other rules. So trying to get this to the professional level, this tournament, which is completely advanced from year 1. No one would have had this coverage to expand in this way. Of course, this 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship. It's been a real joy, a real treat for the 27 teams taking part in the first 3 weekends. So much happening, still 2 unbeaten teams. The Silicon Valley Strikers, the Dallas Mustangs. Of course, this tournament presented by Sunoco. Remaining, can he make something happen? A 3rd would be so sweet for the Blazers. Blazers safe. Wanted a single, but it was definitely not on. Excellent start though from the East Bay Blazers, winning the toss, bowling first, 29 for 2 after 5.
I can understand, but like, no excessive.
Are we on air or?
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस, इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, तेरे घर लाने का।
It should be. It should be. I'll
Such a beautiful day. Slight breeze blowing across the ground as well at the scenic Morgan Hill venue in California, of course, south of Silicon Valley. Nawaz Khan, after a really good first over, just 1 run and a wicket, the crucial one of Zia Shazad, back into the attack. Again, on that good length. It will be very important that he continues to find that length. Anytime he gets too full, there will be a clear indication by the batters. A team that likes to score pretty quickly throughout, maintain a good scoring rate, not put too much pressure on themselves in the last 5 overs.
It's a good time to be coming in and bowling, actually.
This time full. You cannot bowl this ground. It just allows you to position it. Doesn't have that extreme pace, Nawaz Khan, and he knew as soon as he delivered it, he missed his length. Karan Chandel, the form, the nick that this man has been in, you can't afford to miss your length to him.
I know, half measures, they smashed it. Immediately thought that it's going to go for 6. It's always a question of how long. He's shown both signs of his game there. Brute force on one occasion, a deft touch on the other occasion. Nawaz Khan's been privy to the former.
Well, Karan Shandell, he's done this recovery job for the Grizzlies a number of times. It's been a huge improvement this year. 272 runs last season, just 1/2 century, averaged over 20 already. He's picked up coming into this. 9 runs, he's been a revelation for the Grizzlies at the top. Good short delivery. Luckily that he got a hand on it. Saidi Ganesh. But Suhas, just the Karan Shandell. Just 150 after all the starts he was able to get last season. He's also up that strike rate, striking a lot closer to 140 now. And with Sami Aslam failing a couple of times, they've depended on him so much. He's done really well to pick up the slack for this Grizzlies team.
That's T20 cricket for you as well, isn't it? You want one batter to carry on. Want a good Shandell. The team has an off day. Sami responds.
Again, looking to cut. They've been happy to use that option. Third man in place, so Khan has the protection.
There's so much control in the shot. Karan Shandell, well, now he's starting to unfold the other denominations in the game as well. He's quite content to just run it down to third man and pick up a single, just suggests that he wants to play a longer innings. It's not always about the bam-bam cricket that he's known for.
Well, again, probably gets away with it. Mid-off up in the circle. Nawaz Khan picking up that wicket. Just one delivery remaining in this over. An excellent start by him. Overall, the East Bay Blazers this time short, it's in the air, hasn't quite got it, but it will be the desired result. Goes over the boundary and a real sad way for Nawaz Khan to end what was a really good over. Spoils it in the end, 38 for 2 after the first 6.
That despite losing 2 early wickets, the attack is on. One-handed effort, didn't have much control on this. Still the ball lands just in front of the boundary rope. Hence given 4. Imagine getting a distance with just one hand. 38 for 2 after 6, and this is how Golden State Grizzlies got to 38. 2 early wickets, of course, with Sami Aslam and Zia Mohammad Shahzad departing. But Karan Shandell takes the mantle forward with 27 of 18, and Shivam Mishra with that boundary would feel a little better, but not much, because that wasn't oozing with control, much like Shivam's known to do so.
Well, what will resonate in the minds of the Grizzlies and they'll be happy about is the fact that not only have they seen out 3 Martindale overs, man has come in, picked up 6 wickets already in the 5 matches. He's been a real threat to batters. He's both 3 already inside that power play, but also that they have Zam back into the 11 today. We know what he was able to do. 32 balls, 72 at the Prairie View Cricket Complex, where he batted alongside Shiva Mishra. He was outstanding to watch, the 2, Mishra and Hamad Azam, in that partnership of 127 runs.
Bowling,
So spin continuing.
Yeah, lads, yeah, lads.
Brad has got his task cut out here.
How is that?
The left-hander.
Definitely sliding down for the off-spinner. Bowling around the wicket. Interesting angle. Trying to make something happen. Shandell's the wicket that they want. Shandell's the wicket that they'll need.
Didn't bounce as much. Well, is that a sign of what is to come? Because then this wicket has started to play tricks, is what you would believe.
Well, it's an interesting move by Captain Angelo Pereira. He won the toss and elected to bowl first against a Grizzlies team, mind you, who are 3-0 in terms of haven't lost the game in this tournament when batting first. And especially on this surface, which does spin as the day goes on. Very dry, but does have that early morning moisture underneath. Easy single.
just get a feeling it's a matter of time before Krishnamurthy comes. Spin is the way to go, and Angelo Pereira decided that it's got something for the spinners to surface. And you will see Krishnamurthy warming up too very soon.
Catch in the deep, catch in the
For the
deep,
moment,
Bill.
Brar.
This time, Chandel is on the charge. And whatever he's touched has turned to goal. Has he put it down in the deep? At long on.
Should have been taken. This is what they practice day in and day out. Didn't have to move an inch. The boundary awareness was there. It just was a little bit more relaxed in the end. Pops in, pops out. 6 all the way.
Well, it just seemed like the sun may have blinded him in the end, but we're really disappointed that they put that down. This vantage point initially all the way for 6. It's a tall man, Jerron Alfred, at the boundary. Could have had the first wicket, the East Bay Blazers, but instead, Chandel survives. 46 for 2 after 7.
I'll be somewhere here.
Yeah, Brar has been given an over as well, and he did generate an opportunity. 4 bowlers used so far. Mark Dayal amongst the wickets, and so is Nawaz Khan. 46 for 2. First wicket fell so early, just 2 runs on the board, and then a little bit of a counter-attack when Zia fell too. 25 for 2, and East Bay Blazers have looked good thereafter. They're still trying to attack.
Beautiful day here in this 2020 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship. The tournament rolls on.
Which side?
Vikash Mohan will come into the attack. The man from Trinidad.
Change. Right now,
3 Trinis in this team. Mark Dayal, Jerron Alfred and Vikash Mohan. Hasn't bowled pretty often in this tournament, but it could be the captain, Angelo Pereira, seeing something on this surface. Maybe some spin on off as well. Gonna come around the wicket to the left-hander. I've been on the money so far, the spinners. Just that one expensive over, which came from Mohammad Tariq. Other than that, they've been pretty sound. In terms of that power play, they'll be very happy just conceding the 34 runs, also being able to pick up 2 wickets.
At the time has come for Angelo Pereira to look around and ask, who can bowl spin? Please put your hand up.
One in the deep, one in the
And
deep.
if you're an offie with a left-hander in the mix, more than welcome.
One going straight up.
Yeah, they've done well, the Grizzlies, with Sami Aslam at the top in terms of the left-hander. They like to keep that left-hand, right-hand combination throughout the order when you look at the construct of their teams. Something that they rely on. This time straight. And the man at long off will be able to do enough. So the boundary's flowing. This is a good rebuild of this innings for the Golden State Grizzlies. And led by, spearheaded by the man from the top, Karan Chandel.
He doesn't miss out on opportunities. Anything pitched up, he will go for it. Even a very straight long off couldn't cut it off. That's how straight the batter has hit it. Karan Chandel. And once again, I tell you, no half measures when Karan Chandel's batting. All or nothing. Just gives everything into his shots.
Much better delivery this time from Mohan. If you want to be full, you've got to ensure that you're not that straight, because you do have a long off in place. You have a deep cover, traditional field for the off spinner. But when you're that straight, easy pickings for a man that's fired so far. Karan Chandel, 25 deliveries he's been there. And I think they'll look to Vikash Mohan as someone they can target, being the part-time off spinner. Down the track again. This time though, there is protection at long on. Just be a single.
That's been the template so far, even after losing a couple of wickets for Grizzlies. They've always looked to attack. And with Hamad yet to come, Hamad would want a better scorecard to inherit so that he can play his natural game from the word go. Karan Chandel, so good so far.
This time across the line. Interesting, that will excite Pereira and the Blazers. Of course, this tournament carrying global because of our title sponsors. Toyota, second year for them on board in this 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship. what a first year it was having them in terms of the initiative, just to take the game to different continents around the world. Innovation, reverse scoop, dink, I like to call it. Just a single though. Alfred is there. So a decent first over for Vikas Mohan. Won't mind that too much. 55 for 2 after 8.
What's up, Dad? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, तेरे घर लाने का।
Well, a dream start for Karan Shandell, but he hasn't had much help. 40 from 26 for him. Again, maintaining that strike rate that he's done throughout the season, over 150. But Shiva Mishra, who's shown that he can dig in for his team, has got to continue more spin into the attack. Interested to see now how the Grizzlies approach playing against spin. They know that it's a Blazers bowling lineup that's relied heavily on a couple of options. You look at Alfred, who's took 5 wickets in the last game, Mark Dayal, Angelo Pereira, the captain himself. So the Grizzlies will bear that in mind and know that they can look to attack some of the part-timers who will come into the attack. Interesting to see how they use Sanjay Krishnamurthy as well. Just 6 overs for the under-19 USA player. Short gets away with it, but they have to re-bowl that one. Brar.
Sanjay was amongst the wickets too in the last game. Picked up one important wicket. Not getting his line right on that occasion.
This time in the air. Does it have enough to go all the way? The man underneath it and completes the catch. And Karan Shandell, after a glorious start, has thrown it away. And this East Bay Blazers team have just come back time and time again. And what a start this is to a blockbuster weekend. An important one for their chances.
I did know immediately, just knew immediately that he's gone. Lovely boundary awareness as well. Karan Shandell departs for 40. Team in trouble with the 3rd wicket down for 55.
Big wicket for the East Bay Blazers, and it was such good bowling from them as well. Knowing that that square boundary is one of the biggest at Morgan Hill. Knowing that Karan Shandell likes to go square. Just held out at deep mid-wicket. Huge strike. Just when this game was slipping away, after taking 2 early wickets, a partnership began to form between Shiva Mishra and Shandell. One worth 32. That's broken now.
You remove your leg. Yeah.
And it will be in the middle for the Golden State Grizzlies. Aditya Srinivas. So still no Hamad Azam, who has come in at number 5. I think Hamad Azam has also shown enough in his MVP season last year, where he was able to strike at 187. He can still play that long innings for you. It's not on the track straight away, Srinivas. Interesting way to get off the mark.
Srinivas as well is a very situational batter. He's played a couple of handy innings before as well. Remember one against Seattle. Team struggling with 10 for 4. Stabilize the innings thereafter. He's got his task cut out here, Nikhil. Would he be feeding the strike more to Shivam?
Again, another full batting to come in terms of Mohit Nataraj. Also an all-rounder, 30 from 18 balls in his last game. They like to rely on Nataraj and Hamad Azam to go for that power. Both have got to bat this situation equally. Mishra and Srinivas have to rebuild at this stage. You think, having lost 2 wickets inside the 9th over, they can get to maybe the 12th over this pairing and get that score up to maybe 80. good with 8 overs remain that they can score at 10 runs and over and get up to 161.70 on a small ground, which can be competitive with their bowling lineup.
Always!
Good delivery as well. Very close to cut.
And perhaps would go slightly slower than that, Nikhil, because there's 2 new men at the crease. Shiva Mishra, of course, faced 11 balls.
I'll go the other way. I think 7 runs and over from here. Run out. He's gone. The dive doesn't save him, and just what you don't need when you're losing quick wickets. A run out, crucial at this stage. Umpire finger goes up straight away. He's distraught, Mishra.
The time he's taken to recover from that dive tells you how much this wicket meant to him. He has thrown it away, and the umpire was in a great position to judge this one as well. The bat slid only after the wicket had been dislodged.
Shiva Mishra gone. More trouble for the Grizzlies, who haven't been able to find momentum. Just a start for him. He's gone for 11. 59 for 4. Well, the man himself, Hamad Azam, the 2021 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship MVP, walks to the middle. And if they need a most valuable player performance, it's today, with his team in real trouble. Yet to get to the halfway stage of this innings, they've already lost 4 wickets. And even though we have seen a trend from the Grizzlies in this season where they have lost early wickets inside the first 6, someone in the top order has been able to put their hand up. They need, whether it be Srinivas or Hamad Azam, he's got to play a bit different to how he likes to play, likes to come in with a platform where he can really go hard. So Hamad Azam has got to bat the situation, have to get to the 12th over these 2 without losing another wicket. A run out at this stage, so costly.
Leg?
That's a 1 leg.
Thank you.
Hamad Azam has come out to bat
So bowling change.
because of a run which was more than a hallucination. He was deep inside the crease as well when he played that shot. It was very difficult to get to the other end. Sold him a dummy.
Tariq! Tariq!
And a lovely collect by the bowler himself.
Come on, Aj. Come on,
That
Aj.
last over was real horrendous for the Grizzlies. Not only did they lose Karan Shandell, edge this time, no slip in place. Heartbreaking for the Blazers. Not only did they lose Karan Shandell, but then to end the over off, the icing on the cake for the Blazers with a run out. Real costly. Well on top, the Blazers, a team that, remember, come into this one 3-2, 4th currently in that Western Conference where only 2 teams can go through. You have an unbeaten defending champions in the Silicon Valley Strikers. I expect them to be one of those 2. Almost a run. Did he get back? He was very confident, the keeper, but this time the umpire saying no, he's back home. Hamad Azam, well, his heart would have been in his hand at that split second.
Sadeep Ganesh, quick as ever to whip the bails off. Hamad Azam suggesting that he's back. He's also a tall man, so a better slide. And he tracked the bat, did the basics right. Makes it in the nick of time. Such a big moment in this game once again.
And now with the right-handed Hamad Azam, I'm sure it's only a matter of time before we see more spin in Sanjay. The way the spinners have bowled so far is what's helped the Blazers to be so dominant. On the back foot, Hamad Azam able to continue the run scoring. Just a single.
Back it up, Tariq.
Boy, does he come into this with a huge reputation, given what we witnessed in the first season of this Toyota Minor League 2021 Championship. 411 runs, an average of over 50. Striked out 184, was unstoppable.
Was he in?
Good. You remember? Yeah.
Was it in?
He played A team and you came for the
Just
LPL
seem
in
to be getting some
2012.
reinforcements.
Yeah,
New bat for Srinivas.
Going good? All right, settling in. Move here.
I think he's got a bat for every situation as well. Much like we've seen the big hitters go for a bat with a
Center.
bigger meat, a bigger blade
one
towards
center.
the end of the innings. Now he's opted for a bat perhaps, which it doesn't let him go for the big shots, even if he wants to. That's the situation for you.
Clearly looking, Srinivas, clearly looking for those quick singles. Instrument in the last over.
Come on, boys.
Angelo Pereira, the captain, into the attack for the first time today. A really good start by him. Just 3 runs conceded. Has to close out the over well. Full through extra cover, but again, just a single. Cover very wide. And able to cut that off. This is really good cricket and a really good start so far from the East Bay Blazers.
That was typical Aditya Srinivas. That's his pressure release shot. Anything through covers, cover point.
So that will end the over and also end the halfway stage of this innings. And it's been all the East Bay Blazers. 63 for 4.
Hey, one more ball to go.
So we're going to actually have that free that we expected to have in this 10th over. Very important for Pereira, who's just conceded the 4 runs. How sweet would the wicket of Hamad Azam be? They can prize it some way, somehow.
I just get a feeling that it'll break the morale of the Grizzlies if that happens. Ahmad Azam, the superstar from Pakistan. He's played cricket all around the world. Learned a lot with the England tour.
Sweeps Ahmad Azam, but again, bowling well to their field, the spinners from the East Bay Blazers. Just 5 runs from Pereira's first over, the halfway stage. 64 for 4.
Keep moving, keep moving. Direct.
64 for 4, the Golden State Grizzlies at the halfway mark. The top 4 batters, the engine room's back in the hut. Karan Chandale's the only one who got a start. Everybody else in single figures. Aditya Srinivas and Hamad Azam in the middle for Golden State Grizzlies. Looking good for a big finish to carry on for at least 3 more overs before the launch pad's created.
6 options used for the Blazers. Plenty of spin. Just the 2 seamers in Tariq and Nawaz Khan. Still haven't seen Jaron Alfred, the Trinidadian who took 5 wickets in the last game. It's going to be more spin into the attack with 2 right-handers at the crease. Sanjay Krishnamurti. You can see there that right hand. If you look closely, he's got a strapping on his 2 fingers coming off of a fracture, which put him out of the first 2 games, put him out of action. So he's now had to come back and find his rhythm. He's looking such a crucial all-round player for them. Was excellent in the 2021 season.
And in the lead-up when he picked up that injury as well, even in that game, just pushed through with that injury in NSL. Bowled the important overs for his team and ensured that he puts his team in a great position. Battling pain, battling injury. A complete team man. First ball for Krishnamurti.
Happy to just consolidate in this period, the 2, but what it will help the Blazers in terms of Angelo Pereira. He's able to get in some overs here, sneak a couple overs in. We saw one from Vikash Mohan, which didn't cost him too much, just went for 9 runs. Of Crafty, trying to move around in his crease, just to take the attack to Krishnamurti. Not the most convincing, but a boundary nonetheless. That will help their cause at this stage, the Golden State Grizzlies.
That ends the drought of boundaries as well. He had to do something there, be a little more proactive. And Aditya obliges. Doesn't want Krishnamurti to get settled, and Krishnamurti is not bowling exactly from the popping crease. He's slightly behind that to trouble the batter with the dip. The release point is very interesting to see, Nikhil.
Again, on that length. First boundary that in 16 deliveries for the Grizzlies. So, well, yes, they want to consolidate, want to build partnerships. Important that they're able still to score. We know this ground, we know how high scoring it can be. Expect, as this sun continues to shine at Morgan Hill, expect it to get a bit better for batting. So it was always going to be an interesting choice by Pereira winning the toss and bowling first. All three of these deliveries have been on a short length. That time, though, too short and pounced. Srinivas has seen enough. He's been there for a while. 8 deliveries, finally opening up.
Aditya, one of his favorite strokes once again. He can cut all day. And he gets it right in the gap, and this outfield just carried the ball over the fence on its own. Beautiful shot indeed. Aditya Srinivas now unfurling his shots. Feeling Azam, who can shift gears anytime, would be mighty pleased with the way the youngster has gone at the other end.
Much better from Krishnamurti. I like that length a lot more. Even though, yes, you have the smaller straight boundaries, at this stage, I don't mind bowling full, inviting the batters to take him on, always with a chance of a wicket. But a good first over comes to an end for the Grizzlies against Krishnamurti. 10 from it. 74, 75, correct. 74 for 4.
Levino was gone. 74 for 4. The 4 batters back in the hutch. Sami Karan Zia and Shivam Mishra. Karan Chandil's the only one who got a... Srinivas is looking good after that boundary. Hamad Azam, a runner ball 5.
Thank you.
He was able to have a really good season with the ball last year, Sanjay Krishnamurti. More spin will continue. It's been a trend. Pereira, the captain.
Stop it.
Bowled really well to start the East Bay Blazers. It'll be very important that they finish the innings well. Haven't seen Alfred into the attack just yet. Probably expected at this stage. The way this surface has been, hasn't spun a whole lot, but it's been a bit on the slower side. And it has made run scoring very difficult.
He's also keeping low at times.
Easy.
That's what has prompted Angelo Pereira to look around for spinners, including himself, to bring himself into the attack as well. He's bowling as slow as possible, much unlike Mark Dayal.
Yeah, that sidearm, round arm action, bowling around the wicket. Another single. International experience, Angelo Pereira. What an addition he's been for this team. 6 1-day internationals, 6 T20 internationals, 20 wickets for him, and an average of 22. So every time he's been given the ball for Sri Lanka, and in his professional T20 career, would have played a lot of cricket in the Lankan Premier League. Every time he's bowled, he's made an impact for his team. 20 wickets at an average of 22, but also an economy rate in these middle overs of just 7. Can't ask for much more from your left arm spinner. Flights that one, a bit slower. Misfields, so they get through for the single.
Yeah, I remember watching him for Dambula Vikings, and he was terrific. Into the Candy Warriors, of course. The Lanka Premier League. And he plays T20 and T10 cricket around the world. Abu Dhabi T10. It's another tournament that he set ablaze with a 60 of 29.
Good piece of fielding, extra cover this time to save the single. We're getting through the overs very quickly, the captain. Making sure that he keeps a strong hold of things at this stage. 79 for 4.
My son, he's so soft-spoken. Everyone says he's so good-looking, and he never forgets to call.
Hi, Mom. Born for your trousseau, the 2022 Tundra. Toyota, let's go places.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
The game dominated by the bowling so far. Krishnamurti continuing. Yeah, oh, there it is. Quicker delivery. Arm ball from the left arm spinner. He hasn't bowled much in this tournament, Sanjay Krishnamurti, but when he does pick up that ball, always makes a difference. And he's made one here. Breaks a crucial partnership.
Targets the middle stump, gets it back. Played it on there. Would you believe it? Again, the slower delivery has done the trick. Outside off he bowled. Srinivas departs for a runner ball 14. 79 in the board.
Really good stuff from the Blazers. team which has been on top from this Western Conference. You can't ask for much better than this. You look at 4 teams, the Strikers, the Grizzlies, of course, the 2 top of the table teams. But the way the Blazers have played in this one shows you that they could be right there in with a chance, as well as the Seattle Thunderbolts, who've already also got off to a blazing start. Mohit Nataraj, the all-rounder, comes in. These two, you think, maybe do or die for the Grizzlies. Done the bulk of the scoring in the last 5 overs. When you look at across the 2 seasons.
The reliable batter. Mohit Nataraj has got almost all shots in the book. Really, you type Mohit Nataraj and you get reverse sweeps in return. And today I think he's going to hold that shot, one of his favorite shots back. The situation is such that his team's in a danger of being bundled out. Now wants to be cheeky. Off the mark right away, Nikhil.
Yeah, it's been a good performance from Sanjay Krishnamurti so far. Just played 3 games coming into this one.
After this. No batting
coming
after
off
this.
that fracture to the right hand. And only bowled 6 overs. Always tough to come into a game and find your rhythm straight away, but it will help his cause, the fact that they've been able to take early wickets, 4 of them before he came into the attack. Love this length, because when he does go full, not only does it entice the batter to take on that smaller side, especially a man with the power of Hamad Azam, also brings you with a chance of taking wickets. You're attacking the stumps. Good bowling from the overall spinners of this East Bay Blazers team.
Oh!
Mixing it up, the lengths. Krishnamurti's already picked up a wicket. Mohit Nataraj, pressure will be on the Golden State Grizzlies. They haven't been in this position too often in this tournament, across the 2 seasons, you could say. Here it is, switch hit. It goes straight up, and it doesn't go anywhere. And another easy catch taken. Krishnamurti's got 2, and the East Bay Blazers are marching on in this 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship.
An inexplicable shot under circumstances. Mohit Nataraj wants to be cute, wants to be cheeky. And that is the kind of shot which he will not be wanting to remember. Knew it immediately, he's got it wrong. And simple catch for Vikash.
We saw all those fielders up in the circle, try to take them on. 185 now for 6. Real trouble for the Golden State Grizzlies. Krishnamurti sticking to his plans. In the end, working out for him. 2nd time in this innings that the Blazers have struck twice in an over. Hamad Azam still there, but he needs help.
Thank you.
Come on, boys. Yeah, man.
New batter in, Abhinder Singh.
Sanjay.
In today, team for Rushar Joshi. One of the 3 changes made by the Golden State Grizzlies. Boy, will you have to step up with the bat in hand. That's why they played him for that bit of extra batting. But what an over, superb over from the youngster. 2 wickets coming in at the end of 13, 81 for 6.
Keep going, boys. Good energy here, man.
Big trouble for Golden State Grizzlies. They want a launch pad in the first place, then the attack will start. Hamad Azam's out there. 8 of 9 is a glimmer of hope to provide the crescendo finish, because otherwise Golden State Grizzlies have struggled with only Curran getting a start and everyone else falling very cheaply.
Big swing and a miss. They will have to know, though, that they've got to try to bat these 20 overs, see if they can get up to anything respectable. 140 from here. This current rate only gets them to 124. Don't think that'll be enough against a stacked East Bay Blazers batting lineup. There is that mid-wicket. Coming back for 2. Good running. Sahari gets there in the end. Isan Adil has a first-class 85, Suhas. You think he could maybe feature with the bat in hand?
Oh, he's no muck with the bat. He's been striking the ball cleanly. Especially if you see Quaid-e-Azam Trophy back in Pakistan. He's someone who, whenever gets an opportunity, loves to throw the willow around. At the moment, he's got to tell himself, let's score some runs here so that I can bowl at them.
The captain, Angelo Pereira, I like the way he's brought himself into the attack. He's mixed up his options in terms of left arm spin, off spin. He's had that luxury. You look at the different options that they've had. Brar, Mart Dayal at the top with that newer ball, the off spinner. Then Krishnamurthy and Pereira both in tandem.
Stop it! Stop it!
This time cut. Very close to that off stump to cut, but it's a lightning quick outfield down at third man, and it will be another boundary. Hamad Azam playing riskily this stage.
No, I don't think Pereira would mind this shot at all. This is the ball that will provide him that wicket.
Ash!
Had to generate some room, and Hamad Azam was able to do so on this occasion. Much needed boundary in terms of Golden State Grizzlies. You get a move on.
He's played this situation well, Hamad Azam, so far. This time, work to be done at deep backward square. David White is quick, patrolling that boundary, keeps it to just 2. He's played the situation well, but I think he'll feel really disappointed with the way that Srinivas and Nataraj just batted with him at the other end. That shot, you just question, was it needed at this stage? You still have 7 overs. You know that Nataraj coming off of 30 from 18 balls against the Blasters in a game which he saw them, took them over the line. So you just thought that partnership, knowing the importance of the two, spending time at the crease, really questioned the shot. Whilst it was on, looking to hit into the smaller side, field up. Can't take those risks. Hamad Azam finding the fielder this time though.
Now, additionally, someone like Mohit, who's played important innings before this, especially in the semi-finals last year when the team had collapsed. We'll get back to it. 89 for 6.
A fantastic day for cricket at Morgan Hill. If you're now joining us, it's been a extremely good start from the East Bay Blazers, a team that won the toss. And they bat themselves, bat their skills. Look at the amount of options they've used. 7 already into the attack. Had some high towers early on, but since they've been able to pick up wickets pretty continuously throughout the innings, they've kept that scoring rate to a minimum. Have to close out this remaining 6 overs well. Krishnamurthy continuing. Has used that pace so well, Krishnamurthy. Look at the deliveries he was able to get the wickets. He's been mixed it up. Pace, been quick through the air. Has that slower one as well, which can spin and grip a lot more. It's a clay-like surface here at Morgan Hill, so it will spin as the day goes on. Playing the sweep, playing it well. That man was in the circle, so got a hand on it. I think may have actually hit the umpire.
It's one shot that the bowler, as a spinner, you don't want your opponent to play. The sweep especially.
Sanjay.
A lot straighter this time, Sanjay Krishnamurthy.
Catch it next time.
Still 1 over remaining after this. Picked up 2 wickets, just conceded 6 runs and over. Been an excellent bowling performance from him. His captain will be very happy about through this middle. Continue to look for singles, but unable to find it. That'll be under sink.
Nice dots, Sanjay.
Another dot ball. Sanjay Krishnamurthy stringing a web around the batters here.
Here was earlier in the square leg umpire. Tried to get out the way, but didn't in time. Oh, that's going to hurt.
1-1.
Krishnamurthy continuing though, not phased by too much around him.
That's going to hurt the umpire as much as Hamad himself, who was looking for at least a couple of runs on that shot, if not a boundary.
Could have easily been a boundary with square leg up in the circle. It's why he played that sweep. It's why we've seen a lot of batters try to target that smaller boundary square. This time, too close again to cut. Love the line maintained from Sanjay Krishnamurthy. He's a meticulous young man. 15 overs done, 5 remain, 92 for 6.
Golden State Grizzlies getting to 92 for 6 after Karan Chandil made a quick fire 40. While wickets were falling all around him. An unnecessary run out from Shivam Mishra. They started the slump with the middle order not firing. Aditya Srinivas departs for a run ball 14. And Mohit Nataraj where he's played one of those shots which suggests that he wouldn't be talking to the coach for a while. Hamad Azam's run ball 17s was keeping Golden State Grizzlies' hope for a big finish alive.
Well, here we've seen it again. Angelo Pereira continuing.
Stop it! Easy.
Scalping for a quick single to point. That's what you have to do at this stage, trying to get your team out of this situation. You want to get Hamad Azam as well, the MVP from last season. Look at what he's done this year as well. Continuing right where he left off. He's struggled with a shoulder injury in this 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Sunoco. Good shot through extra cover, but man is there, stops it. Many won't know, and you watch Hamad Azam bat, you think he's 100%, but he's actually battled in and out of the team with a left shoulder injury. Sorry, right shoulder bowling. So he's had to battle. They've managed him, didn't play the last game, played the one before. Against the Mustangs, the game they lost.
Easy.
He's had that sort of additional challenge, but he's maintained his performances well. 109 runs in the 3 innings. He's batted an average again of 52. This a strike rate of 176. It's the reason he was the MVP in 2021. Another sweep. He's gone to that sweep quite often. Finds the deep square leg fielder.
Well done, Dave.
Now, one of the biggest learnings for East Bay Blazers, the fact that have a deep square leg in place when a spinner is in operation to Hamad. Hamad loves to sweep, and on this kind of an outfield, a fielder always helps.
Yes.
But there it is, wicket. Finally for the captain Pereira, rewarded after some really persistent bowling. He's captained well, he's bowled well, and his team, well, boy, have they done well. 96 for 7, and another one goes, looking to up the ante. Singh just never was there today in terms of rhythm. Off stump hit, he's gone. Just 4.
Nice and slow. Just held its line, and a shot that again was inexplicable. Singh had to stay there and feed the strike, didn't do so. 4 of 8 for him, 96 for 7.
And when that wicket fell, you could just see the disappointment on Hamad Azam's face. Just hunched over because he knew the importance of having someone there at the other end just to bat through this innings. And Sohan Bat, the under 19 player, comes to the middle in today as well. First game for him in this 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Sunoco. Of course, wouldn't be possible without our official sponsors, Dafa News as well.
What a game for him. 96 for 7, his team is struggling, but he's alongside Hamad Azam, who will be mentoring the youngster as this game goes on.
Slip in place straight away, like this from Pereira. Bowling to the left-hander, the young man, inexperienced, wants to get the wicket early, not relaxing. And it tells you how well your bowlers have bowled. When you have a man that took 5 wickets in the last game, Jaron Alfred, 5 wickets, 4 came in the 18th over. A game against the Athletics. He hasn't seen the ball today because the spin has been dominant. End of 16, 96 for 7.
Now, Karan Chandel's 40 of 27 is the only innings of substance. He was the one holding the innings together with some counter-attack after early wickets. Zia Mohammad, Shivam Mishra's run out, of course, and Aditya Srinivas. I've got to say that this batting order is looking sorry at the moment because runs haven't been added. Hamad Azam's running out of partners, 19 of 19 for a man who can hit at least 40 in those deliveries. Been very surprised by the shot selection as well, and throw that run out in the mix. It's a batting effort that they would want to forget very quickly. The Blazers.
Well, pressure.
Blazers rather.
Set up by the pressure by this man, Sanjay Krishnamurti, already 2 wickets. First game where he's been able to bowl his full quarter, now inside his 4th over. If I'm Hamad Azam, I'm telling young Sohan Bat, just stay there. Do whatever you have to do to ensure that you defend your stumps. And if you can find a single, Hamad Azam has got to take authority. We know the type of player he is. We've already seen glimpses of 72 from just 32 deliveries against the Michigan Cricket Stars. We know the gear that he can flick into. If I'm him, though, you have to bat to the 20th over. You know that the importance of that. 97 for 7. On this ground, on a good batting track, you think it'll be very hard to defend anything less than 130. Even 140, I think, will take some defending.
I like this from Angelo Pereira. He's gone for the kill. He's instructed the youngster Krishnamurthy to bowl slightly wide, entice the batter a little bit more. While Angelo, while he was in operation, was targeting the stumps more often.
Always a tough task for Krishnamurthy, bowling with that small straight boundary behind him. And he'll know that he cannot be too full to Ahmad Azam. He's bowled on that good length pretty much throughout his spell. Again looking to sweep. Going straight to the man. What a big wicket that is. Huge, huge moment in this game. The in-man, the experienced man, Ahmad Azam, is gone just for a run about 20. What a big wicket that is. That could be it. The final nail in the coffin for the Grizzlies.
That is the much-needed wicket for East Bay Blazers. Ahmad Azam sweeps once again, but this time straight into the hands of a well-placed fielder. It's that man, Sanjay Krishnamurthy, who's provided the wicket of the big fish. Ahmad departs for a meager 20. Grizzlies in deep, deep trouble at 98 for 8.
Huge, huge strike. And from the very first over, where they took the wicket of the captain, Sami Aslam, they have never looked back. This East Bay Blazers team, Ihsan Adil, no, he can bat. 85, watched him score 85 in first-class cricket, but he's known for his bowling exploits. He's the leading wicket taker in this 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship. You have to do a different role, play a different role for his team. With still some 3 overs remaining after this. Just may have gone too hard too early, the Grizzlies.
99 is the substitute. 99 is the substitute.
Ihsan Adil. Just get a feeling that he would have been told by the management to stick around and play the 3 overs as well. Yes, attack, but ensure that you do not get bundled out. That can impact the net run rate column as well in a group that anyway is so well fought.
Oh, yes! First delivery, this young man with the golden arm, Sanjay Krishnamurthy, strikes. And what a wicket, what a ball to start to the new batter. Things have gone from bad to worse to terrible for the Golden State Grizzlies, who lose their 9th.
Ihsan Adil can pick up a phone call he just put down. Straight and push through, top of off, just like the coaches want. The tall Ihsan, by the time he shifts his weight on the back foot, realizes the ball had skidded through. Ihsan Adil will not trouble the scorers. The score stagnates at 98 for 9 now.
Huge blow. Even though, yes, Adil not known for his batting exploits, just to continue the pressure is what this East Bay Blazers team has done so well. They picked up a wicket in the first over, the 4th, then 2 in the 9th, 2 in the 13th, and now on the rampage on the attack. Boy, have they batted well, Sher Khan. So bowled well, correction. Sher Khan comes to the middle. He will need to bat well.
Yeah, Sher Khan has earned a lot of name in the cricketing circles of Sacramento. Again, very experienced. He's a tough cricketer. And he's known as one of the comeback kings. Now, was his last week against Michigan? That again was with the ball in hand, went for a lot of runs in the first over, but the fact that he came back and bowled the last over with such good rhythm just tells you that he's a very, very skilled cricketer. Now has the bat in hand though, and the situation is suggesting that he needs to play out. He needs to play out the 3 overs rather than go for a big shot and find that it is going to be trouble again. Patrick Ball
had that extra fielder in the offside, very close, had a slip in place as well. Like this from Angelo Pereira. He got sort of that silly extra cover fielder. Not too close, but a catchable distance from the new batter. The number 11, never easy.
Last ball.
Really good delivery, and what a spell from this young man. We know he's talented, Sanjay Krishnamurthy, but he'll be very happy about this return, coming back from an injury. End of his 4 wickets and 17 runs. What an over for the East Bay Blazers, 98 for 9.
Sanjay Krishnamurthy. 17 runs and 4 important strikes. Unreal economy of 4.25. He has answered above and beyond the call of duty. Now, of course, he can nurse his injury as well. Usually when you're coming back from an injury, there's always these doubts that linger on. But he has dealt with them so well, this Sanjay Krishnamurthy. A quick learner.
He did so well, just string together dot deliveries. 13 dots for Sanjay Krishnamurthy, and that's what set him up to pick up wickets. Excellent from him, and overall the spinners, they've just been well drilled. Seem like they've stuck to the plans. They've came in with a clear blueprint on how to dismiss this Grizzlies team. Team that's very reliant on that top 3. Sami Aslam, they took the wicket of him. Very first over, Mark Dayal. He was brought in for that to bowl to the left-hander. Just slowed it up and got one to spin through the gate of Sami Aslam. And since then, well, there's been no looking back for the East Bay Blazers. Bars bowled well as well.
Slightly inside, sir.
Also for this East Bay Blazers team. Picked up the 1 wicket, the crucial wicket of Shandal. Also inflicted a run out in that over. That was the 9th over, and at 59 for 4, you thought maybe they could squeeze their way to 140. They just never took their foot off the gas. Fortunate runs this time for the Grizzlies, just 1.
Again, the way they played the shots, the shot selection has been very puzzling. 100 comes up with that single for Golden State Grizzlies. That is something that they look back on. They've got to believe that this cushion's enough, though. Grizzlies.
Good delivery from Burr. You have to ensure that you try with 2 lower order batters. Just try to get up to that 20 over mark. 100 just comes up inside the 18th over. And a rare disappointing batting display from the Grizzlies. A team that have relied on their batting to help them through tough situations pretty much throughout the tournament. All of their totals, whether batting first or second in this tournament, Suhas, were all over 170 in this 2022 Toyota Minor League presented by Sunoco. That's the reason that they're 4-1. Just the 1 loss to the Dallas Mustangs. Well, they've been impressive, but you have to give credit to the Blazers team. They've not backed down from this challenge. End of the 18th over, 101 for 9.
Yeah.
You know the score?
9 wickets have fallen. Look at that scorecard. Extremely disappointing, especially from the top order. Just Shandal putting his hand up. Zia Shazad, he's had a real disappointing run out in terms of with the bat in hand. He's been there with the wickets. 8 wickets for the leg spinner. He's been attacking. But they need something to bowl at. The likes of Adil, Sher Khan, Zia Shazad and others. So Mark Dayal picked up the crucial first wicket, back into the attack.
Nice,
The wicket as well.
Keep it tight here, keep it tight, fellas. Come on, let's stay switched on, here.
It wasn't for the lack of intent, it's just the shots again which have been puzzling from Golden State Grizzlies. East Bay Blazers have been terrific. Oh, a little bit of luck there.
Runs past the keeper off the outside edge. I don't think you mind that too much if you're Mark Dayal. Obviously, bowlers, you love your figures, but just goes through the keeper's hands. Always tough with Dayal bowling that bit of extra pace on the ball. And there again, maybe actually opening the face. Have to give him some more credit on replay. But nonetheless, regardless if it's off the edge or the face, a crucial boundary. They try to salvage anything they can at this stage. Slip comes into play now. Angelo Pereira, the captain.
Just what I wanted to ask you after the first ball. Why not bring a slip? Angelo Pereira has shown all signs of going for the kill. And bring himself, is what he said then. Yeah, brings himself at the slip position. He's a very good slip fielder too. He's taking nice low catches like in Sri Lanka.
This time in the air, man in the deep, and it just goes over his head. The young man bats 10 runs from this over. He's showing that he has also another gear he can kick into. Crucial runs coming at this stage. You just never know. You've got to give your bowler something to bowl at. A full delivery, bat connects.
And Sohan Bhatt's taken Mark Dayal on. He's decided no point sticking around shots. Mark White is one of the, well, David White, one of the tallest to the side. If he couldn't get to it, nobody would have.
It was an interesting change from Dayal, who's on that shorter to good length pretty much throughout his entire spell. With this lower order batter now, may have just got a bit too adventurous. Goes full this time, but speared in at the legs and put York at the end by Dayal.
Expected it from Dayal. Expected him to fire it in after being hit away for a 6. That's more of frustration as well. Now he might slow it down. Delivery being strung in as quick as possible.
You have to think who will bowl this final over. Arshdeep Brar has one, the spinner. This time down the leg side, and Mark Dayal knows it. You can hear that loud exclamation. He's just given it away, release some of the pressure in this over. And you'll really be disappointed with that because they're now able to cross that 110 mark, 115 for 9 after 19 overs.
Crucial
Freebie.
runs. Crucial runs for the Golden State Grizzlies. These. That adds a little bit more cushion, much required.
Bad bowling.
$115 for 9. You think if they can get up to 130, it would be tough. They would need 15 runs from here. You just never know with Isan Adil, with Zia. Have been up in the wickets for the Grizzlies, but also Sher Khan with his swing. With just Srinivas, Mohit Nataraj. They do have some exciting bowling options who can play a part. They will be seen back into the attack for the first time since the 6th over. Nawaz Khan will come back into the attack. 13 overs on the trot of spin. Tells you about conditions, something that the Silicon Valley Strikers and San Diego Surf Riders will be taking a look at. They've on this premium coverage on Willow TV and the MLC Network later today. Don't want to miss that one. The Strikers undefeated in this tournament, 5-0. The Surf Riders in desperate need of a win. Khan to continue. Just goes seam up and big swing and a miss. Do see though, even look at Saideep Ganesh. Didn't get to him on the full. It tells you about this surface. Definitely has slowed down as the innings has progressed.
Yeah.
No real carry. And some variable bounce as well.
And this wicket has played tricks, but the undoing of the batters has been because of their mistakes.
This time in the onside. Just one. Mid-wicket in place.
He's trying the cross-seam deliveries now. Not entirely cross-seam as well, but wants to hit the ball on the seam as it lands. Nikhil, he's got that extra bit of pace as well, Nawaz, and the bounce, of course. Someone who's vertically blessed, Nawaz, but generate that extra bounce.
Yeah, pretty typical from seamers, trying to swing that ball. Always angle that seam towards a slip fielder, so trying to see if he can get anything to happen with this older ball inside this final over. It's been a good start though by Nawaz Khan. Mentioned how important his role will be throughout this season. Yesterday where we saw spin play a much bigger part, but as the season progresses they need more output from him. That one definitely pays off, and just beating Saideep Ganesh behind the stumps, but also Sher Khan for pace.
Yeah,
good to see intent again. No execution on that occasion. Saideep misses out, which is a rare occasion.
And a crucial cameo this though from Sohan Bhatt, coming at number 9, 17 from 13 deliveries. Couldn't ask for much more from the youngster in his very first game of this minor league championship. So has to close out this innings well. Khan and the East Bay Blazers. You don't want to be chasing over 125 from this stage, just for that psychological advantage going into the break as well. This time it's in the air. Does it have enough to go all the way? You bet it does. Astonishing stroke from the young man who continues. This time it's Sher Khan in at number 11, well, showing that he can bat as well.
That is a good pickup from Shehryar. Much needed runs and much needed momentum for the Grizzlies. And into the second round.
Local cricket happening at the same time. League cricket comes a long way across. You can see though with that maximum, anytime the ball is short, it's sitting up. He doesn't have the pace. And I think it's interesting for someone like Ihsan Adil. Only one delivery for him with the bat. But I'm interested to see the length that Adil bowls with that bit of extra pace on this surface. Not much green grass to help him. All of that will come into play. But first, they've got to close out this final delivery. Again, went on that similar length. A bit fuller this time. Beats him. Comes a long way across his off stump. This time gone through the legs. Yorker, Nawaz connects with the stump. And it will end what has been the icing on the cake on a fantastic bowling display from the East Bay Blazers, winning the toss, bowling first, and to skittle out one of the best batting lineups in this tournament for just 123 runs in the 20 overs. They'll feel the happy of the two teams.
Reckless from Golden State Grizzlies, relentless from East Bay Blazers. Targeting the base of off, gets it right. Nawaz has the last laugh. Came back with a good delivery after being hit for a 6. He came back with an even better one. Shehryar Khan departs for 8 as the team folds for 1, 2, 3 on the board.
Well, a real clinical display of bowling from the East Bay Blazers. A team that, remember, is under pressure in this Western Conference. In this Pacific, the tight Pacific, 3-2, 4th position at the moment. And it's been a real disappointing display. Karan Shandel, the man again at the top. He's been in the runs this season, got a start, but just couldn't kick on at a crucial time. And they just never were able to find their rhythm, find the momentum. A start from Hamad Azam as well. Just too much from him. And a really good finish to the innings by Sohan Bhatt to get them past that 120 into something respectable.
Shehryar providing that 6 towards the end to propel the total over a psychological 120 perhaps, or will it be enough is another question altogether. Lots of bowling options for East Bay Blazers. Angelo Pereira, when it comes to spin, spoiled for choice. Mark Dayal picked up a wicket. Nawaz Khan with his pace picked up 2. Ashdeep Brar, who was given 3 overs today, has picked up a wicket as well. Angelo Pereira, the captain, is amongst the wickets too. But talk about this man, Sanjay Krishnamurthy in his 4, picks up 4 vital scalps and ensures that his team is on the top most of the time.
Well, the pick of the bowlers, Sanjay Krishnamurthy, after coming back off of injury, that will be a very encouraging performance and an encouraging display from him. Let's have a look at how things unfolded. But we will have 124 now needed for the East Bay Blazers. Well, this is how things unfolded in this first innings at Morgan Hill. First of 4 matches coming up this weekend. It was all about the start for Mark Dayal, getting the huge wicket of Sami Aslam early, getting him to try that sweep. The seam went for runs in that second over, but after that, well, it was all the East Bay Blazers. Karan Shandel, another good start of 40 from him. 4, 4 and a 6 in this second over. He took the seam apart when he played it, but the spin was what really brought the Blazers back into the game. That was just class to end the over from Shandel. Then, well, the Grizzlies, Zia Shazad got a bit of fortune early on. He struggled this season, but then fell again. The seam, Nawaz Khan into the attack straight away, was able to make an impact. Soft dismissal for Zia Shazad, who will be really disappointed with his showing so far in this minor league. Shandel, well, put his hand up in that top order. Someone had to do it. He was able to continue to score whenever pace was on the ball. Took the attack to the spin, attacking the smaller straight boundary. Did it well. He was fortunate not to be taken there. Should have really been held on by Jaron Alfred. Then again went that straight. This time much more clinical. He was able to get the better result. But This was a crucial passage of play. Brewer into the attack. Able to take out on the mid-wicket boundary, trying to take on that square boundary, one of the bigger at Morgan Hill. From there on in, it was always going to be tough. A crucial run-out coming in the same 9th over. Never were able to pick back up the Golden State Grizzlies. Aditya Srinivas came, played a couple good shots before he also followed. And Sanjay Krishnamurti, boy was he brilliant. Played that one well, Srinivas. Then Srinivas, well, he would have to go. Just playing one on. The man with the golden arm. 4 wickets for him, Krishnamurti. This time went straight up and didn't last long. Shiva Mishra. Ahmad Azam, well, he got a start. It was an uncharacteristic innings from him. 21 deliveries for his 20. He played some good strokes. Risk-free all along the ground. Then Ahmad Azam just picked out that lone square-leg fielder. Boy, was he disappointed with that, trying to play the sweep. These big Blazers, but they just never backed down. Never let them fall under pressure. Ethan Adil came, Ethan Adil went. Krishnamurti, cherry on top with the 4 wickets. The last pair, Sher Khan and Bat, were able to put on a small cameo towards the end, which got this Grizzlies team up to 123. And well, Bat in his very first game did a really encouraging knock, showing that they have some sort of depth. 17 from 13 for him, not out. This was a long way from the number 11, Sher Khan. And the final delivery of the innings, a good Yorker by Nawaz Khan to close it out. Full straight and at the stumps, and in the end it would mean that the Grizzlies only get up to 123, their lowest total of this tournament. And when we return, the Blazers, looking for their 4th win, will need 124 from the 20 overs. I just feel like this one has another twist to the tail. Don't go back very shortly with the run chase.
You're watching the Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship, presented by Sunoco. Championship, presented by Sunoco.
Boy, oh boy, what a contest we have unfolding here at Morgan Hill. First game of 4 as the tournament, this 2022 Toyota Minor League kicks on, cracks on. This premium coverage now to this southern part of California. The Grizzlies, well, first real struggle with the bat in hand for them. Karan Shandell at the top of the order getting a start, but no one else really able to put their hand up and bat through the innings. Hamad Azam also at 20, but just 123 they will be able to muster in the end. You have to wonder if that will be enough.
The Nash bomb called Sanjay Krishnamurthy was introduced a little late today. But once he got the ball in hand, didn't want to let it go. 4 important wickets for the youngster. What a comeback.
Yeah, credit to Nawaz Khan as well. It's been tough as a seamer. We saw a tap being taken by Shandell and others against those quicker options, but he held his own well. 5.67 economy rate, taking 2 wickets as well. You can see there the Blazers, well, they need 124 for victory. A team that's already lost 2 games, so they're already behind the 8 ball. But you think if they can win this and set the Grizzlies sort of in that group, in the same group as a derby, a Bay Area derby, fantastic setting behind us. These hills in Morgan Hill. That's why it's called Morgan Hill.
Such a picturesque venue as well, isn't it? One of those favorite places to cover cricket. Morgan Hill. Now this is the place to be if you're around the Bay Area. You're a good cricket connoisseur. Come over.
Saideep Ganesh will face first for the East Bay Blazers. Been an up and down road for him in this tournament. Highest score of 36. He'll be looking to build on that. I think someone from this opening pair has got to put their hand up, has to dig in. Especially we saw the wicket of Sami Aslab early and what impact that had on the Grizzlies. If these two can bat maybe the first 3 to 5 overs, could almost put the game away in this first 6, knowing the aggression that they both possess. Ihsan Adil, the leading wicket taker of this 2022 Toyota Minor League, will have the ball in hand, the new ball in hand, first up. Slip in place early on. See how, in terms of the length, Ihsan Adil opts for. Boy, has he been a revelation. 13 wickets coming into this.
Nikhil, what you like about him the most is the fact that it's not that he stops after picking up 5 as well. The fact that he went for the 6th wicket on that occasion and got the batter bowled was a treat to watch. Ihsan Adil, a lot of international experience, rising through the ranks, and now calls the Grizzlies his home. It's been terrific so far, and the reason I say so far is they need an Ihsan Adil kind of a spell here.
No! But he's so good at that strong wrist position. A strong wrist behind the ball. It allows the ball to seam. We saw at the Prairie View Cricket Complex, he was such a handful. Took 3 wickets for just 36 runs in the last game. He was a tad on the expensive side, but you expect that on the high-scoring Prairie View. The key, though, he was assisted greatly by that green grass that you get in Houston. Different challenge for him today on this barren surface.
He's got to find the rhythm right away. Ihsan Adil's got to be the recurrent chief if he's got to keep his team in the hunt. He comes with a lot of reputation. He comes with a lovely skill set. It's all about execution at the moment. Ihsan Adil up against 123, which is looking paltry at the moment, but the wickets can change that.
Ganesh, glorious, but well stopped at cover. Good piece of fielding, and that's what you need if you're the Grizzlies. You can't afford to give away too many boundaries early on. Only need to score above 6 runs and over if you are the East Bay Blazers. Ihsan Adil, a man that comes in playing at the test level for Pakistan. 3 test matches for him, 6 one-day internationals. Good piece of fielding in that smaller square boundary.
Abhinder Singh batting it to the nearest fielder as well, having that presence of mind to not let the single be sneaked through. Wonderful effort indeed. What was good to see was the way he negotiated. Abhinder negotiated that bat bounce.
Just such a fluent action. Ganesh will finally get off the mark, and first runs for the East Bay Blazers comes via a quick single for this Grizzlies team. Well, it's gonna need someone else besides Ihsan Adil, who's obviously picked up the 13 wickets, the most in this tournament. Also, Zia Shazad picked up 8. Both of them have picked up obviously 21 between, but it's been the other bowlers that have to now step up. Sher Khan has picked up 5, but consistent in terms of that knack for picking up wickets. They need to get this wicket. David White, what a start he's had to this tournament. The power hitting man from South Africa. 541 runs across the 2 seasons.
Yeah, single-handedly took his team home in Houston a couple of times. Loves to bat through the innings as well. Times his aggression perfectly. He's got the height to go inside out as well. It's going to be a battle to remember. David White, who's chasing a poultry target, up against Ehsan Adil, who's got his task cut out in search of an early wicket.
Good delivery from Adil, asking questions early on. White though off the mark. David White, man, that was formerly the captain of this East Bay Blazers team for the entirety of the 2021 season to start this one. Changing captaincy, so he has that weight released off his shoulders. I think the key for this opening pair, they would have done their homework and also know that because it's only 123, you can afford to see off Ehsan Adil. You don't need to take too many risks against him. And once you do so, you're able to then attack some of the other options that may be less experienced. Interesting, they've left out Anesh Deshpande, the under-19 Seema. Down the leg side. Heard 2 noises there. Bat may have just clashed into the pad. You have to re-roll that one. A rare extra from a man that's usually so persistent on that off stump, Ehsan Adil.
He cannot afford this. Ehsan Adil has got to keep the line in length right. That cushion's deflating by the minute, and extras is something which will hurt a lot as far as the Grizzlies are concerned. East Bay Blazers, they wouldn't mind that at all.
Yeah, have chopped and changed this Golden State Grizzlies bowling lineup. Rusher Joshi out today after playing the last game. Bit of extra seam for him. Probably based on conditions, they play the extra spinner. To take wickets though. Ganesh likes that drive, the on drive to be particular. And you'll just get 1 for it. So ends a pretty decent start for both teams. 4 from the first over. Ehsan Adil will be happy about that.
The East Bay Blazers, as always, opening with Saideep Ganesh and David White, who's given them great starts. Sanjay Krishnamurthy slotted in at number 3. As far as the batting order is concerned, might be a little changed. Nawaz Khan, Arshdeep Brar, Gurbakhsh Singh Khera, Angelo Pereira, Mark Dayal. There's a lot of batting to come, including Vikash Mohan, who's the splendid 46 set this tournament ablaze early on. Jaron Alfred and Mohammad Tariq will feature there as well. And would believe the East Bay Blazers, it doesn't get down to them to finish this game off.
Sher Khan, the man that relies on a swing, comes into the attack. Didn't start the tournament for the Grizzlies. Was brought in the very second game and has played since. Mentioned the 5 wickets he's taken. 11 across the 2 seasons for Khan. But I love the fact that he's been able to ask the right questions with the newer ball. Not been afraid to pitch up the ball. He's been on the expensive side in terms of economy rate. On the north side of 8 runs per over, but he has a slip in place looking for wickets. You have to be aggressive if you are Sami Aslam. Only 123 runs on the board, but defending these runs over 20 overs is not going to work. You mentioned with the amount of batting that the East Bay Blazers have, Mark Dayal, Angelo Pereira, you expect them to come. Sanjay Krishnamurthy can come in at number 5. So you have to take wickets. I like the proactive move from Sami Aslam to have a man at slip.
Sami Aslam is someone who wants a change in field at the last moment. Is that a long gone? As straight as possible.
Again, off the inside edge. 2 fielders out, deep mid-wicket, long off. So because Sher Khan looking to bring that slip into play and be full outside the off stump, he's got the protection down the ground. Interesting to see now, Suhas, when Sami Aslam opts to bring Zia Shazad into the attack. He's taken 8 wickets with the leg spin. He has been and he's gone to when he needs wickets. He Does he go to him inside this power play with that newer ball?
Just get a feeling that Hassan Adil will come back for one more over because of him being excellent with a new ball. Sami Aslam's got a lot of thinking to do, and he understands that this game's about 10 wickets, not curtailing the opponents within 120 balls. Because East Bay Blazers have got quite a batting order, and most of them are in-form batters.
Forget just one. I think if these two, Ihsan Adil may have to bowl 3 even in this power play. You need wickets. David White, a man that got 75 from just 40 deliveries against the Blasters a couple of games ago. You don't want to let him get away because this could be over very quickly. Full again. This time though, there is a mid-on in place and it will beat it. So long off has had to run a long way across and has allowed White to get back for 2. It was perfect placement just to be a tad wide of that fielder at mid-on. Once he squeezed it past him, he knew 2 was always on the cards.
Didn't do much of ball watching there. Sathiv Ganesh was also responding to the call of David. Wonderfully done. The fielder at long off eventually had to cover ground to turn into a long on.
I find it so interesting looking at David White. I remember when he first came to the US, I wanted to find out who this guy was. You look at his stats, 23 T20s at the professional level for the Eastern Province back in South Africa. But usually in T20 cricket, you don't see very high averages. David White averages 43 with the bat in hand in his 23 T20s. You don't really see that, and it tells you a man that's able to get in and bat for long periods of time at the top of the order. Last season, Suhas, he was able to average 30, but what would have disappointed him was that he was only able to register 3 half-centuries in his 14 innings. So you want to kick on this year. Already has 1 under his belt in the first 5 innings.
Yeah, and 1 for winning course as well. And the way he shifted gears in that innings, I was lucky to be calling that innings, and the way he shifted gears and made the partner feel so comfortable at the other end was a big learning curve for any youngster watching how to chase down any target when you get set.
This time through cover, and it just goes through the fielder, and it will be boundary for Sathiv Ganesh, who's gone to that drive a couple of times in this inning so far. Finally gets one out the middle and executes for a boundary.
Beautifully done, slightly pitched up. It doesn't shy away from going through with that full swing. That is a ball which is invited into that dugout.
Ends the second over, 8 for none.
Let's go.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस, इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, तेरे घर लाने का।
1, 2, 3.
First delivery is angled into the pad of David White. Ihsan Adil continuing. And I think these two will relish the opportunity to play against pace on the ball. We saw it in the first innings with Karan Shandel, where he took apart Mohammad Tariq. 18 came from the second over. Then they've bowled 13 overs of spin on the trot. We have seen Sami Aslam with the ball. We know Zia Shahzad is another spin option. So interested to see how they come into play as this surface dries out. And it is expected to spin. Not a lot of that green grass on it to help the seamers like Adil. Good delivery. Slip in place. Ball just seaming away. Mention that strong wrist position from Ihsan Adil. Allows things to happen with that new ball.
Someone like Sathiv who's got nice low hands as well. A little difficult to adjust with the ball. Bounces a little bit more than expected. Sathiv Ganesh comes from the Bangalore school of batting. He's played a lot in Delhi as well. He's earned quite a name there.
What a first season What a first season Ihsan Adil's had in this 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship. What an addition he's been for this Grizzlies team. Saw him in the Houston Challenge earlier this year in Houston, where he was able to, for the MLC West team, just run through any opposition he played against. Obviously had that assistance with that green grass that you get at for review, but it has to prove his mettle now on a tougher surface to bowl on, especially as the leading wicket taker in this tournament and a main strike option for the Grizzlies in a case where they desperately need wickets. Haven't picked up one yet. Adil will really be tested on this occasion.
He's got two important things in his armory: the late swing that he can bring into play and the slower delivery. He's got to pick and choose when he uses them. He's been so good so far.
This one in the air, but over the top. Man up in the side of the circle. Didn't time it well, Saideep Ganesh. But he knew once he got enough elevation on it to go over that fielder, he was always going to get a boundary. This is a good counter-attack from Ganesh, taking the risk.
This is why you want to watch Saideep Ganesh. He's such an exciting batter to watch in 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship.
Just one bounce onto that rope. And Saideep Ganesh, well, a good start from him, a man that's been slightly inconsistent in terms of the runs, and he'll be looking now to use this platform that he has with a small total needed. He can bat as long as possible and ensure he spends time at the crease. Ihsan Adil, for a rare time, taken, well, the attack taken to him. This time goes again, but finds the fielder. Interesting length from Adil with that mid-off field up in the circle.
I'm very surprised that we're not seeing much of movement here. When the ball leaves Ihsan Adil's lovely wrist, usually gets a lot of movement. Just with the grass is still very much alive, but that skid that he usually gets, Ihsan Adil, that's missing. He hasn't hurried the batter.
I think it's been because of that lack of that green grass. You look at, especially from this end, no real grass around the batter, so that sideways movement going to be very hard to generate from that angle. So has been a much more difficult scenario and situation for Ihsan Adil to bowl in. He's got to find a way. This time, wow, that's the best of the lot, but it's in the air. And completes it. It was the right intent from Saideep Ganesh, but it's the man with the wickets. Yet again, the leading wicket taker of this tournament, Ihsan Adil. He's got his man after a couple of blows early in the over. He strikes back well.
That is Saideep Ganesh for you. Lives by the sword, dies by the sword. Wants to go and take Ihsan Adil on. Wants to go for an early finish. Ihsan Adil too good on that occasion. Eyes straight up in the air.
Ganesh, well, his short stay comes to an end. 2 boundaries for him. He's gone for 11. The score now 17 for 1 after the 3 overs. So a real disappointing start for Ganesh, who had got in 12 deliveries, built a platform, would have been expected to kick on. Mark Dayal comes to the middle. Man from Trinidad and Tobago, CPL player, just retained by the St. Lucia Kings last week. He expected at the top of the order again. Team that got to the finals of the 2021 edition. But what a star Dayal has been in this tournament, both with his batting and bowling. 164 runs in the 5 matches, an average of over 32, but a strike rate of 170. Already has picked up 2 half centuries. What you want from your international players brought in, of course, thanks to our global partners, Toyota, the presenting sponsor of this Minor League Cricket Championship.
Mark Dayal, while chasing a bigger target on a track which is completely different in Seattle, went on to score 55 of 19. That's, of course, while setting a target. That was the way he announced himself in 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship. Shirya Khan, can he provide the second breakthrough?
Well, the goal straight away, Mark Dayal. Knowing covers up in the circle. That's astonishing from the new man. Not wasting any time, not sticking around. Boundary to open his account.
gets the bit to free his arms. Mark Dayal doesn't disappoint. In the first 6 overs, it was all about getting enough bat on it and a chip over the infield. The outfield is a batter's best friend at the moment. Lightning quick. You don't get better than these.
He's already got 250s, one of the highest strike rates in this minor league tournament, 170. Khan bowling around the wicket. This time in the air, hasn't got it similar to the previous delivery, but he will get the same result. And it goes all the way. Just waiting to get the final signal from the umpire. It goes all the way for a maximum. So 4 then 6. Mark Dayal will make his intentions clear.
Just an extension of arms, and he's getting it away with ease. He's hitting it with the wind as well, so that the ball flies as much as possible.
He has a career strike rate of 129. Opening the batting in the Caribbean. Seen a lot of him, Mark Dayal. Man that started sort of on the fringes of that Trinbago Knight Riders team for a number of years in the CPL. But I think the opportunities he's gotten in the Global T20, as well as the T10 for the Chennai Braves the past season, it's been fantastic. Look at that statement piece from Dayal over extra cover. Stand and pause.
No one moved an inch. Shahryar Khan got it wrong. Mark Dayal gets it from the middle of the bat. One for the photographers as well, as he held his pose after playing that lovely shot. Mark Dayal has a very clear mind, especially while chasing a smaller target. We've seen it when he was playing against the Trinbago Knight Riders. He's got a lovely half century, picked up the player of the match, and he suggested to Alex, well, this is the way I bat. Doesn't really matter if it's a smaller target, because I want a clear mind till the end of the game.
But he has the tournament's fastest 50, 14 balls already picked up a half century in this tournament. He's got that for a reason. Already 14 from his first 3 deliveries. And if this continues, well, the Grizzlies, they'll be in a real spot of bother, looking for their 5th win of this 2022 Toyota Minor League, presented by Sunoco. Final delivery coming up. Khan has gone over the wicket now. Change of angle, works. Dot ball to end, but a huge over for the East Bay Blazers. Just what they needed to add a bit of extra impetus into the innings. 14 runs from it, 31 for 1. So we have some more deliveries, so more fun for Mark Dayal. Interesting change of angle. They had that slip in place. He now comes out, trying to push the ball now across the left-hander. Much better length, and I'm surprised that he went full on all 3 of those occasions, especially knowing you only have 2 fielders allowed outside the circle. So I think that's probably the optimum length from Khan. He realized it a bit too late.
Every time runs are being accumulated with in such good fashion, there's more pressure on Ehsan Adil at the other end, who's trying to eke out as many wickets as possible because they just play him out, the East Bay Blazers.
This time straight at the body. Mark Dayal's not going to miss out on that. He's so strong behind square because of that bottom hand. This left-hander, you don't want to miss your length to him. 18 runs have come off the over.
Kept a little low, but the adjustment from Mark Dayal was such a treat to watch. Just guiding the ball to perfection this time around. Didn't try to hit it hard at all. Pramjot eventually gives the ball back in hand, but Shahryar Khan wants none of it. He's ended an over to forget as soon as possible. 35 for 1.
All of a sudden, asking rate down to 5.5. You just need 1 big over. That potentially could be it.
My son, he's so soft-spoken. Everyone says he's so good-looking, and he never forgets to call.
Hi, Mom. Born for your true self. The 2022 Tundra. Toyota. Let's go places.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
As expected, Ehsan Adil for his 3rd over. wickets. The only way you can win this game from this position, the Golden State Grizzlies. David White's been a quiet start for him. Glorious. Absolutely glorious through point. Opened the face, just timed it so well. Runs flowing in a hurry for the East Bay Blazers.
Hassan Adil gives minimum width, but that is too much for David White. Just doing the minimum there, opening the face of the bat. She's got to love the placement here from David White. He hasn't gone attacking the ball. He's quite content allowing the ball to come on to him. Mark Dayal, on the other hand, is playing a different brand of cricket.
No. This time slightly fuller, slightly straighter from Adil. But you will be pretty surprised by this, Ihsan Adil. The fact that batters he's bowled against, not been afraid to take him on. You saw it from Saideep Ganesh. He then got the wicket, his 14th of the tournament. But even given his reputation coming into this, Mark Dayal, a man has played cricket at the Caribbean Premier League level, as well as the first class level back in the Caribbean. He's not fazed by anyone. Any bowler must go. In his books, already 250s in this tournament. David White, we know he can thump it to all parts.
East Bay Blazers have got two in-form batters in the middle, and both of them have got quite a start. Mark Dayal is 18 of 6, will find himself in the non-strikers end at the moment though. It's David White.
Again, opens the face. This time he has that man at deep point. So he's got that for that reason. Of course, the official sponsors of this tournament, Dafa News, who's going to be on the cover. We've had already 2 fantastic weeks of action, where we've seen so many of the young players, so many of the international players featured. Ihsan Adil, he's featured a number of times on Dafa News. Who will be next? Could very well be Mark Dayal, the way he's struck it.
Yeah, after his innings in Seattle, definitely that 55 was just 19, as you rightly put. Gets to a half century in 14 deliveries. Incredible.
But one thing the East Bay Blazers will remember is last year they finished 3rd in the West, just outside that top 2, lost 5 games. So this year they're already behind the 8 ball, having lost 2 out of the first 5. They've got to win, especially these crucial matchups. Goes again, Mark Dayal. In the power play, this man is destructive. Does it have enough on it to go all the way for 6? Just a couple of bounces in to the ropes for 4. So Dayal on the charge. He's not going to be stopped.
So much width once again. And Mark Dayal takes care of it. 1 bounce over the fence.
Crucial innings this from Dayal, knowing that these small chases can get a bit tricky. You lose a couple early wickets, you let the bowling team into the game. He's not having any of it. Even to Ihsan Adil, a man has picked up 14 wickets in this tournament. He's gone the distance. Almost. How often have we seen that one could have easily gone back to hit the stumps? When it's going for you, sometimes Suhas, it's just going for you.
Rightly said, Nikhil. Any could have been pegged back. Mark Dayal's packed a lot of luck in his kit back too. But a man who's extremely brave, of course. Fortune favors the brave. Mark Dayal's played a nice little cameo, which has brought the required rate down. He is also suggesting that we might be in for... I told you about the clear mind he has while chasing a smaller target, because you've interacted with him up close as well. What have your conversations with him been when he is in such a situation the team needs paltry runs?
Yeah.
Much straighter length. Sorry, much straighter line and a much better length from Ihsan Adil to close the over off. Just be a single. So he's a no-nonsense man, Mark Dayal, regardless of the situation. End of 5, 45 for 1. Well, a truly contrasting 2 innings between these 2 teams. After 5 overs, the Grizzlies, they were struggling after losing the wickets of Sami Aslam, the captain, Zia Shazad, 29 for 2 after 5. That's been completely differed by the Blazers. 45 for 1, all because of that man, Dayal, 23 from just 9, striking at 255. Look at this from the captain.
Slightly, sir.
He's gone to himself, Sami Aslam. This could, you've seen it so often, the part-time into the attack, often they do pick up the wicket, but equally willing to mark.
Bowling change.
Nonsense man so far. Sami Aslam, well, this is a bold call from the skipper.
He's just borrowed a leaf out of Angelo's book. Wants to try himself on. He wants to get the spinners to do the talking.
And with Mark Dayal at the crease, it also means that Zia Shazad, the leg spinner, will be reluctant to bring him on, Sami Aslam. So he's gone to himself with the ball spinning away from the left-hander. Mark Dayal goes straight away. Still inside the power play. Fielder up. Swashbuckling from the Trinidadian.
Looks like the early wicket was a boon for East Bay Blazers as Mark Dayal gets it right once again. A lovely start. Minimum effort. Wonderful result. He's targeting the straighter boundaries as well, and rightly put, he doesn't want to bring the leg spinner on Sami Aslam because of the shorter boundaries on the leg side. He loves to pull and go straight too.
Much better length from Aslam. You will know, Mark, there that Sami Aslam hasn't bowled very often in his minor league career. Last game was the first time he bowled his full quota of 4 overs. So you can rattle him easily, even though he's a captain. Now with limited experience, this time long on in place. Even bounces as well for Zia Shazad to handle. Does well in the end.
Yeah, runs required. They've been already accumulated in the first 2 balls with minimum risk. David White, he can have a picnic out there.
Interested to see the field. Sami Aslam with the off-spinner ball going. He brings long up into the circle. Has that long on, and of course the traditional deep mid-wicket. Has to be very precise in terms of that length. Anything too full, White will look to attack. Straight to the man this time. Just brought our feet up into the circle. Have to take wickets, of course, if you are the Grizzlies. We knew the game with only 123 on the board. Cut straight to point.
He's got to string a lot more dot deliveries now. It's important for him to cut off the singles as well, because singles would suffice at the moment for East Bay Blazers. That's the importance of having a boundary first ball. East Bay Blazers, it just opens up so many options for them.
This time down the leg side, wrong line from Sami Aslam. Any bat on it would be a boundary. Another expensive over comes to the end, and the East Bay Blazers from here, you would think, well on top, well on their way to win their third game of this tournament. Correction, 54 for 1.
Singh, can you please update the score, sir?
The end of 6 overs, the power play restrictions of the first one would be lifted. Sadiq Ganesh was the only man to walk back to the pavilion. David White and Mark Dayal are having a treat in the middle. 13 of 11 for David, while Mark Dayal just extending his arms and scoring runs galore. 28 of 12 for the man for the Caribbean.
I'll tell you what, this will help the Blazers in terms of their batting confidence going forward in the tournament. Getting a win here, obviously still 70 runs away. Zia Shazad will come into the attack just outside the power play. But a batting lineup that has been there. They've shown in the first couple of games getting 2 180+ totals that they were able to, against the Thunderbolts, to churn out those big totals. But the games that they've lost, look at against the Dallas Mustangs, and then also against the Thunderbolts, the batting just seemed to fail them. And they have a huge gap to make up with Gowda, who's gone to that Mustangs team. Gowda's one of the best batters in this minor league tournament. 481 runs for him. He averaged 37. He's gone over to Dallas. So that's a big loss for them, and it means now that Dayal, Angelo Pereira and David White have got to step up. Interesting to see the approach by Dayal. with the ball spinning in. So often do we see the left-handers, a real urge, a bit of extra impetus to take on the ball spinning into him. Martindale, he can hit with the spin into the small square boundaries. Good delivery though, good 2 deliveries from Zia Shahzad so far.
You're talking about him hitting with the spin, Martindale on the leg side. And that's what he did in Seattle. Just picked the bowlers on, took them on, swiveled his way to his 50.
This time full, long on in pace. And it's why Sami Aslam has brought Zia Shahzad on from that end. Because of the bigger side, the ball spinning into him, and you get back on strike after that 2 runs. But he wants Martindale to try to hit with the spin into the bigger side, take on that boundary. You have to think this game. It's always a chess match, T20 cricket. Sami Aslam, he's a very experienced man. 2nd season leading this team. He's gone to Shahzad, who's his main wicket taker, 8 wickets in the season so far. Good delivery. Good delivery, asking there to cut. A bit closer to that off. Bit of a good start from Zia Shahzad.
In fact, he scored with the left-hander so very well. He would have been a little peeved with the 2nd run being conceded, Zia, because he's got a ball to the southpaw again.
This time just seemed to be off the outside edge. Always tough for the keeper to hold on to. So there, no byes given.
Zia Shahzad, he's got a good googly. He's been working on one for a while. He's got a good slider as well.
Can I check middle, please?
I like what David White has done in this situation. Usually he's the man to attack, but in this case, realizing that Dale has come to the crease and powered the ball to all parts, he's just played sort of that secondary role. Been happy to just facilitate the strike to Dale. It's good situational awareness from the former captain, but still, of course, one of the leaders in this East Bay Blazers team. Good over so far from Zia Shahzad, and you'll end it with a single. So just 2 runs from Shahzad's first over, but in desperate need of wickets. 58 for 1.
7 overs gone, 58 for 1. Right. 4 bowlers used so far. Ehsan Adil's been amongst the wickets. Ehsan Adil's got 1 more wicket over up his sleeve. And Sami Aslam, of course, introduced himself and went for 9 runs. Zia Mohammad Shahzad hasn't disappointed in his first over, as he gives away just 3.
Of course, this 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship, we've seen runs, we've seen wickets. And as this premium coverage moves on to Morgan Hill, 4 games coming to you over the course of the next 2 days. This is game number 1. Of course, we have defending champions, the unbeaten Silicon Valley Strikers. They're coming up against the San Diego Surf Riders. They'll take on this East Bay Blazers team as well. So a lot of action, a lot of exciting action coming your way over the course of the next 2 days. Of course, this tournament wouldn't be possible without our corporate partners, Dafa News, Sunoco, and a global partner, Toyota. It's been fantastic to have them on board. But a small cameo for him, the under-19 player for the Grizzlies, brought in today for that extra spin option. Kind of surprised he took so long to come into the attack. But being a left arm spinner, this one goes through the keeper. Should be another easy 2 runs. As a left arm spinner, Suhas always sort of tentative to go to left arm spin with a left hander, especially striking it the way Martindale has done. So he'll be edging to get on strike. Martindale.
These are testing times for the youngster Sohan. This battle within a battle will begin, because Martindale will fancy the youngster. He will go after him.
Cut. This time should just be a single, so Dale will get his wish. One thing I think a lot of young children at home watching this game, watching Martindale, can learn from his sort of ability to get a start like this. We saw it from Karan Shandel. He got 40 and 26, but one thing about Dale, he's known to kick on, known to see it towards the end, is why he's got 2 half centuries in this tournament, and is obviously bringing his CPL experience now to the 2022 Toyota Minor League. It's what you expect from the players that you bring in for that international caliber international quality. Gets away with it. Was wide, probably was looking for the extra Dayal. It's quieted down though since that power play where he went berserk, you could say. 22 from his first 8 deliveries. Hit right in front. Pace off, and the left arm spinner has got his man. And of course, typical commentator's curse. Just speaking about Dayal's intent to take it deep, dismiss the next ball.
Sohan Butch doing everything in his powers for his team. Can't ask more from the youngster. He's sent back an informed Dayal after being given the ball in hand. Dayal departs for 30, a well-made 30 of just 19 balls, 61 for 1. 61 for 2.
Just maybe of trying to do too much, Mark Dayal. In the end, he's got to depart, but a quality not just to get his team very close. Less than half the runs needed now, 63 more. Angelo Pereira, the captain, the experienced former Sri Lankan international, comes to the middle. What a season he's had as well with the bat in hand. One Chennai Brave teammate to another in that T10. Pereira was excellent watching him over the last season. 187 runs, the strike rate of a 168 in Abu Dhabi. Different challenge, different conditions for him. He's taken on the minor league well. 133 runs so far in the 5 games. An average of 26, but more importantly, a strike rate of 151. Remember, he's batting at number 4, coming in the middle against a lot of spin. With 5 fielders outside the circle, he's had to manipulate the gaps well. I think now you expect to see David White take a bit more of that aggressive impetus, just to ensure you have runs continuing to tick.
Left arm round. 2 to come.
So long periods of 20, 15 to 20 dot balls. Well, sorry, deliveries without a boundary for the Grizzlies, and that cost them in the end. Just never able to pick up the momentum.
He's gone chasing after it. Didn't need to do so. Pereira.
Really good start by the youngster bat. I wanted to see him into the attack a bit earlier, but you could just sense that Sami Aslam was hesitant to do so because of the left-handed Dayal. In the end, getting his man bat.
No.
Pereira yet to get off the mark. Straight to the fielder. So a successful over finally for the Grizzlies, the one that they've looked for. End of 8, 61 for 2.
1, 2, 3.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need one hand on the roof, one hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go Rewards, when you fuel, you save, because rewards come first.
Well, David White over to the former captain now that he ensures his team can get there. You don't want to lose too many wickets now in the next couple of overs. Have to ensure you build another partnership. You dig in.
Interestingly, Angelo wanted the sliding guard to be taken away from the bowling arm because it sort of masquerades the ball. Camouflages the ball.
44 runs between David White and Mark Dayal. In quick time as well. Mainly because of Dayal. 22 from his first 8. Settled down after the first 6, but he did the damage. Took Sami Aslam. That over went for 18 runs. Good delivery. Just beats the fielder. David White able to finally get off strike.
All good. Shaba. We get time. Shaba Z-bhai.
Get a feeling that David White might have been there for a longer time compared to Angelo Pereira, who's just walked in and is looking for his first run. But David White is planning to play the longer innings in the anchor's role.
Thank you, sir.
Can also hear Karan Shandell trying to find something in his team, trying animated behind the stumps. Just trying to see if he can will something. If they take wickets in the next 2 overs, you just think they're back in this game. You still have an over from Isan Adil, 2 after this from Shazad. Good situational awareness though by Pereira. Doesn't have to take too many risks at this stage. Yes, you struck at 150, but you come in with your team only needing 5 runs and over. You have to ensure that you build a partnership, build a platform. Still have Krishnamurti expected to bat next. Very safe confident and capable player. Delivery from Shazad. Yet to get off the mark. Still Pereira.
Angelo Pereira has played a lot of spin growing up. Under 19. Then, of course, for Sri Lanka, he's coming from the land of spin, in fact. So understands footwork, understands the situations really well, when to score and what are the areas to score which can trouble the spinner too. That was at the best of his deliveries, don't you think, sir?
Interesting to see how he uses Shazad. Hamad Azam on screen. He won't be bowling, you think, for the near future because of that shoulder injury he would have obtained. So they've had to sort of adapt, and they have struggled without his sort of impact that he's able to make with the ball in hand. It's why he won the MVP in 2021, was able to pick up 12 wickets. White looking to pull. Do have the mid-wicket in place. So been a safe going so far from David White. Probably uncharacteristic given the aggressive nature we're used to, but what's needed in this situation? And a good start by the Blazers, 64 for 2.
Thank you. One more thing, did you take the DL sheet? Did you take the DL sheet print out?
Sadeep Ganesh departed early. David White and Angelo Pereira in the middle were quite comfortable, both of them. 64 for 2 after 9. Mark Dayal played a wonderful 30 of just 19, and he set the game up for his side, East Bay Blazers.
So Bat continuing, very first game for him. The way he started, the young man, 17 from 13 with the bat in hand. With the bat in hand, pun intended, Suhas. Then picking up a wicket in his very first over. Not just any wicket, the crucial wicket of Mark Dayal. Down the track, straight as an arrow. And he gets the result David White's been looking for a number of deliveries. He's a powerful man, White. Goes all the way for a maximum.
So he's chosen the right ball as well. Behind the side screen, the ball hides. Now it'll be retrieved. Dancing down the track. And then just again, extension of arms. It's a small boundary. Made to look even more minuscule with David White's big hit.
That would have been 6 on many grounds here in this minor league championship. When he hits it, it stays hit David White. Probably just getting a bit too predictable bat. Trying to force the batter on the back foot. So David White's counter attack by coming down the track, getting close. Pushes it wide this time. Good all-round cricket from both the bowler, thinking, trying to outsmart David White. White showing his versatility though, able to get through for the single. Over to Angelo Pereira, who you think just needs to continue to tick over the scoreboard. Don't need to try too much. Captain.
Very try behind his ears, Angelo Pereira.
Good delivery, really good delivery. Much slower from bat. Has been a struggle so far for Angelo Pereira. Well, Shan knocked all 3 up this ground.
He's being assisted by Angelo in setting the furniture up. And now the umpire will arrive. Sunil, he takes over. It's good to see such camaraderie as well. That's what you get in Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship, presented by Sunoco.
Well, you couldn't ask for a better man to be there in this situation than Angelo Pereira, a man with over 2,000 T20 runs in 114 matches over his professional career. He mentioned he was playing in the Lankan Premier League. All around the world he has, as well as the international level, 6 T20 internationals for Sri Lanka as well. So a real huge addition because not only is batting and bowling, but also his experience he brings to this East Bay Blazers team. Looking to do one better than last year. Team that just missed out on the playoffs. So tough in this Western Conference with the Grizzlies, with the Strikers. The Seattle Thunderbolts are coming as well. So when you have these intergroup matchups, Grizzlies against the Blazers, with the Strikers as well tomorrow, you have to ensure you win. Finally gets one away. Pereira.
Watch out.
End of the over, halfway stage. The Blazers well on their way. 52 needed, 72 for 2.
East Bay Blazers, they blazed away with a start. You could see the Manhattans nice and tall. That's because Mark Thayal was in the middle. A very gritty 30 of just 19 balls. Sets it up nicely. Comparatively, you could see it was a quieter start for the Grizzlies.
Well, it was on the worm. That's been the main problem for the Grizzlies in that first innings. The continuous loss of wickets has meant that we're just never able to develop any momentum in the innings. Zia Shazad, the leg spinner, back into the attack. Pereira goes to extra cover, but there is a field in the deep. David White wants to, almost went for a boundary. Lucky in the end that it didn't concede a boundary there, the Grizzlies. Every run so crucial at this stage. 50 runs now needed for victory. Should be a walk in the park from here, Suhas. Just 5 runs and over, 8 wickets in hand.
And could the Grizzlies provide some more resistance? A good adjustment by Zia. Saw that the batter was backing away. Angelo loves to play the shot when he exposes all 3 stumps, but goes through with the shot anyway. I'll tell you what, we know Angelo, the T20 cricketer, the T10 cricketer, because that's the innings which have come forth. But you go back to Sri Lanka and ask about Angelo Pereira.
Again, creating room for himself.
You go back to Sri Lanka and ask about Angelo Pereira, they'll tell you the only batter to score 2 double centuries in a single game on both the innings at the domestic level.
Zia Shazad. The 8 wickets he's picked up, that's not been the impressive thing to me. It's been the 6.5 economy rate. Not usual for a leg spinner. This 2022 Toyota Minor League, presented by Sunoco, of course. Zia Shazad has been a standout with the ball in hand. With the bat, well, they'll need some more from him batting at number 3. But so far, he's holding his own with that leather ball in hand. 16.25 of an average. Just because of the control he has as a leg spinner. So often we see a lot of looseners, balls with an extreme pace, very quick through the air. Shazad. Huge swing and a miss, and it goes through everyone, the batter, the keeper, and it will be costly runs. So painful for a bowler, 4-bye signal.
Sometimes a delivery is too good for the batter, so good that the keeper cannot collect it, and that is when a boon becomes a pain.
Shanda will be really disappointed with that, but it was that bit of extra pace. So difficult to keep to. And even though it's been a slow start for Pereira, the main thing is still at the crease, still fighting on. This time a single into the onside. So he'd be really disappointed with the way that over has ended. He's conceding the 4 boys. Other than that, pretty tight stuff so far. Just 43 runs needed now. 81 for 2.
My son, he's so soft-spoken. Everyone says he's so good-looking, and he never forgets to call.
Hi, Mom. Born for your trousseau. The 2022 Tundra. Toyota. Let's go places.
What's up, Dad? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
I got 123, yeah?
124.
Back live here at Morgan Hill, beautiful California. The action continues in this 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship. Boy, has it been a true treat. Viewers at home to not only have coverage, but have premium coverage on the Willow TV and MLC network. Singh is going to come into the attack for the first time today. Abhinder Singh. So more spin to the attack. And Singh looking to make an immediate impact. Just a single in the last game. Angelo Pereira and Mark Leal, the two that helped the Blazers get up to 173 against the Athletics. Pereira got 58 from 36 deliveries. Different innings today, though. A slow start for him, but it's what's needed. Just 6 from 13. Batting the situation well is what you expect from your senior players, your captain, and your international addition. Short, too short. Drag down David White. That's meet and greet stuff for a man with that much power. Easy pickings for the big man from South Africa.
It was as if he was waiting for this delivery for ages. attempted marginally shot, and then the ball was never to be found again.
Those poor guys out there trying to have their own game of cricket, and then they're interrupted a couple of times because of power hitting. David White played this situation extremely well. Mentioned the importance of him taking the game deep, something that he was unable to do last year, getting countless starts for this East Bay Blazers team at the top. The 394 runs he scored in the 14 innings, average of over 30, but only 2 half-centuries. He has to ensure that he's able to stay there, especially given the nature of a player like a Martindale, like a Sadiq Ganesh, who will bat with him. They will go after the bowling.
Angelo Pereira's approach is also suggesting that he's quite content feeding the strike to David.
Speaks to the versatility of the batting lineup as well. The fact that they can have players who just kick in and go through the gears. We saw Martindale when he was going. David White was sort of that secondary player, the passenger in the partnership. Now that he's been dismissed, White doing the right thing, just taking over the bulk of the scoring, being there now for 24 deliveries. This is good batting, but it's been set up, of course, by that fantastic bowling performance, restricting this team, one of the best batting lineups, the Grizzlies, to just 123. This time, unorthodox, goes over point. Doesn't get to the boundary though, just comes back for another 2.
It's quite contained there, White, with the second run being taken because he had decided that it's just 2 from the moment it left his bat. End of the over, 92 on the board for 2.
But when you're only chasing 123, you only need a couple of big contributors. Martindale has done his part. Came in, took the bowling apart. 18 overs came from 18 runs. Sorry, came from the 4th over. David White was continued right where Dale has left off since he's been dismissed, taking the attack. 6 options used for the Golden State Grizzlies. Plenty of spin. Haven't been able to find the wickets like we saw earlier for the Blazers. Zia Shahzad, he's been in the wickets in this tournament 8, but still yet to pick up his first.
Zia Shahzad will finish off in the 13th over. Just tells you the desperation of a wicket over here. From Golden State Grizzlies, they need wickets to stay in the game. Otherwise, 32 required in 8 overs.
This time down the ground. I think if you're Sami Aslam, you have to go back to Ihsan Adil now. 4 runs required. Fitting that Ihsan Adil is actually the fielder. But for me, he's got to come back into the attack. He has 1 over remaining. Picked up the wicket of Sadiq Ganesh. You really have to go for the kill at this stage. No point just allowing things to ride out because they will get quite comfortably to the total. Just 31 required. Another single.
What I'd also like to see is a change of ends for Ihsan Adil. Because as much a surprise it shall be of what the surface has to give, it'll be a surprise for the batters as well. Because so far the 3 overs is bowled from the same end.
That one was a quicker delivery, but Angelo Pereira equal to the task. Probably picked it from the hand as well. Always so important when you're batting spin, especially leg spin. A man with a googly can come from the back of the hand. Have to watch so carefully. Zia Shahzad, because his arm speed is so quick, that's what makes him such a daunting task for opposition batters. Good delivery. May just be high against David White. Dafa News, of course, the official sponsors of this 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship. Who's going to be the next to feature? You've seen some fantastic coverage by them throughout this minor league tournament. Looking forward to reading the weekend roundup. This time in the air, does it have enough to go all the way? No, it doesn't. Ihsan Adil takes the catch. And David White, just looking to kick on and finish this game out, finds the fielder. He's got to depart. You just wonder though, is it too little too late for the Grizzlies?
They've got to believe, Grizzlies got to believe that one brings another. Simple catch for Ihsan. And an important wicket for the Grizzlies as it's David White departing.
White gone for 37, 95 for 3 now. Sanjay Krishnamurti walks to the middle. What a young talent this man is. Saw it earlier in terms of his 4 wickets. He's been a true one to watch in the United States. He's also been with the USA international team, going to Oman last year. It was a real pity that the USA actually missed out on that under-19 qualifier, because he would have been likely to captain that team. Very talented bunch, Sanjay Krishnamurti and the USA under-19 group for that T20 World Cup, which was in the Caribbean. So definitely think the maturity he's shown at different times throughout the first 2 seasons he's played in has been a standout, has been so exciting. He's played in 3 one-day internationals for the USA team. That 4 wickets he took earlier today shows why he's such a important piece to the puzzle for the Blazers. Good first delivery though to him, and a good over by Shahzad comes to an end. Takes the wicket. They need much more of that. 95 for 3.
East Bay Blazers 95 for 3. You see the Manhattan to the red. They've dropped a little in terms of height because the skyscraper was set up by Mark Dayal in the 4th and 5th over. But it's what is required at the moment. East Bay Blazers quite comfortable.
Yeah, I think it's done.
So it will be more spin, even after White has taken Singh apart. Just too short in the last over. Abhinder Singh, 11 he conceded, but Sami Aslam trying to find a way, trying to find a wicket. Still hasn't gone back to Adil. Short. Pereira happy to just rotate the strike at this stage. The on strike. 4 for 17 earlier. I remember when he first came to the USA, had a lot of whispers around him because of a strong season he had for Karnataka and the 16s back in India. Then made the trip over to the US, moved here. 19 years old, already played international cricket, made his debut at the end of last year against Nepal in Oman. So definitely has a bright future ahead of him. Just say it was a real pity this USA team didn't get to try to compete for a place at that T20 World Cup. I was there, I saw the talent on display. I can tell you, knowing what the USA have, we've seen a lot throughout the first 3 weeks of minor league. Rohan Padke, Pasanapali, Rohan Pasanapali, of course. We've seen so much of that young talent. Yasser Mohammed, another one. Really excited for what the US has to offer. Of course, Fatsav Akela now gone past the under-19 stage, but he's another one of those youngsters to watch out for.
You rightly mentioned about Krishnamurti and the Karnataka connect. I'll tell you what, he's transformed as a cricketer. I remember his paper cuttings in Ebenezer's school. He used to play for that, and that's when he transformed as a cricketer. He was tall, skinny, but didn't develop the power. Now he's imbibed the power as well, introduced that into his game. He's looking like a different cricketer altogether.
Flighted. Much slower this time from Singh, but Pereira very nonchalant in the middle at the moment. Very relaxed, collected. Not too much risk needed at this stage. 25 runs needed in this 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship. And the Blazers, well, they'll be looking to work their way up into that Western Conference. Currently sit at 4th position, behind the Thunderbolts, behind these Grizzlies and the Strikers. So if they're to get a win here against the Grizzlies, it would really help their cause, trying to search for that top 2 that they missed out on so narrowly last year. End of the 14th over, 100 comes up, 100 for 3.
1, 2, 3.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need 1 hand on the roof, 1 hand on the pump.
Time out for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go Rewards, when you fuel, you save, because rewards come first.
So the youngster bat with the ball in hand, left arm spinner, trying to make something happen for the Grizzlies. Short extra cover, dot delivery. I think it will excite though the Grizzlies that they've been able to go to bat. The youngster, under 19 player, first game for him. He's been able to really take it on well. 17 with the bat. Now a wicket as well. Pereira trying to use his feet. He's slowed up the pace a lot. Bat trying to look for some grip off the surface.
And this is another thing that you find in 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Sunoco. The youngsters get to bowl at the best.
Again, 3-dot balls to Angelo Pereira, the captain. So pressure getting to him a bit. 24 deliveries for 14. It tells you about cricket, this game. Off the back of a 58 from 36 performance. How different, how contrasting this innings has been. How much risk needed. Another dot delivery. Really good start from bat. 4-dot balls. This is how you get back into the game if you're a bowling team. With just 24 runs to defend, got to string the dots and look to build some pressure. Just sense something will give at this stage.
Sohan Bhatt's also bowling at a batter.
This time, something does give, and it goes to extra cover. Splits the two fielders, does well in the end. Zia Shazad at long off to keep it to 2 runs. Thought it was 4, timed it well.
Irrespective of the result, what I would say is the fact that Sohan Bhatt is learning a lot through this game. He's bowling at a batter who's not still. He's got international experience and it moves around a lot. Still sticking to the basics, the youngster.
Quicker delivery, and Pereira, well, just able to get the bat down in time. Single, but a really good over from the young man. Counts to an end. Just 3 runs conceded. No, 3 for 3.
कोई शॉट नहीं है आपके पास। अच्छा मेरी बात सुनो। 103 तो अभी 103 चाहिए 5 में 5 ओवर
This 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Sunoco, but it wouldn't be possible without having all of our corporate partners on board. DAFA News, the official sponsors of this tournament, as well as Sunoco, the presenting sponsors. It was so great to see Toyota and the impact that they made on year 1 of this tournament, seeing the initiatives they had at sort of growing the global reach of the at the finals weekend in North Carolina last year. Small pop-up events that they were able to do to try and integrate cricket into the global round and the global reach in terms of sports fans. Second biggest sport in the world, cricket. If you don't know about it, you want to learn. Singh from him just went for 5 runs. Back into the attack, the leg spinner. Stop that extra cover. Pereira's found the fielder quite often in this innings.
The stump mic is suggesting, the conversations there is suggesting that the ball's holding a little bit.
Well, we didn't need Chandel to confirm that. We saw it from the very first innings where 13 overs of spin were used, and the reason was because of this slow nature of the surface. It will have an impact on today's game. Coming up to you between the San Diego Surf Riders and the Silicon Valley Strikers, the defending champions. A lot of spin on offer for both of those teams. That time he's got him, and just wide of Krishnamurti, enticing him to go down the track. That back foot may have just slipped. In the end, Karan Chandel makes no mistake. Easy work for him in the end, and a big wicket for the Grizzlies.
A wonderful collect indeed. Slightly wide, just outside the reach of Krishnamurti, who departs for 1. 104 for 4.
So just 20 runs needed. Bit of a stutter though for the East Bay Blazers, and Angel Pereira, he's still there. You want to ensure that they don't play around with this match. You don't want to let this Golden State Grizzlies team, a team that have only lost 1 game coming into this. Vikash Mohan will come into the middle. A couple of small cameos from him in this tournament, but a strike rate of 171 for Mohan. Hasn't batted, only batted 3 times, been dismissed only once in the tournament.
Yeah, I remember watching his tremendous 46 up in Seattle.
That's your one setter, sir.
Well, that's music to my ears. That mid-and leg call from Vikash Mohan. Typical Trinidadian accent, probably from South Chaguanas.
Yes, sir. Got it.
Love to hear it. Love to hear that Caribbean flavour. How can you blame me, Suhas? Being from the West Indies, can't. I never did. You can't get away from the action. And 3 Trinidadians in this East Bay Blazers lineup. You have Mark Dayal, you have Vikash Mohan, and of course,
I tell you what, at the end of the minor league for sure, I would have picked up some slangs. Thanks to you.
Well, hold on a minute, Suhas. My colleague Leslie should be very upset being from Trinidad herself. Me calling Chaguanas in the south. Chaguanas definitely central. Apologize to all the Trinidadians tuned in. But regardless of wherever you go in Trinidad, once you can get your doubles and shark and bait, you're always covered.
Good try, Shawad. Sorry, bro.
Someone gifting you an atlas at the end of this. There's half an opportunity. Did put his hand up there though.
Well, that could really hurt. Mohan able to get off strike. And well, just 18 runs needed. Should be easy going in the end. End of the 16th over. 107 for 4.
16 over done. 16, 107. 107. 16, 107.
But look at the comparison. You can see the Blazers well on top right from the very onset. It's just been because they know exactly what they're chasing, know exactly how they can take down this total. And a mere 124 set up by a fantastic bowling performance. Have to give the Grizzlies some credit though, because after the power play, 54 for 1 score at 9 runs and over. We thought, well, this game could be done inside maybe even 15 overs, but they've come back well to build pressure, to take wickets. 2 wickets taken between overs 12 and 16. So Zia Shahzad has done well. I'm surprised we haven't seen Isan Adil. What is Sami Aslam possibly waiting for?
Putt will be bowling out though. The give and take has been terrific, and is being ably supported by fielding efforts of this kind. It'll be a single though.
Yeah, he's bowled well, played well, you could say, with the bat in hand. Sohan bat, then picking up the wicket. Crucial wicket of Mark Dayal under pressure as the left arm spinner bowling to a left-hander. This time in the air, hasn't quite got it. In the air and taken at deep cover. They're just making this harder than it looks. These Bay Blazers. Ferreira, well, he's really struggled today. He's got to go.
The Lone Ranger in the wood. The Lone Ranger youngster, Sohan Bhatt, provides another wicket to his team. Might be a tad bit late, but he's picked up the big fish. It is a story for a few moments for sure. It's a story for him to relish and cherish. It's the opposition skipper, Angelo Pereira, who's making the long walk back today. Couldn't get going.
Ferreira gone for 19. Slow innings for him. Uncharacteristic for the former international player. 108. Now for 5. Harshdeep Brar comes to the middle. The spinner made an impact with the ball in hand. He will be looking to finish this game off. 5th wicket goes down, 16 runs to win. I'll tell you why though, regardless of the result, Sami Aslam would be very pleased with this from Sohan Bhatt. First game for him, the left arm spinner. Good delivery, almost back onto the stumps. Many will remember Vatsal Vaghela, 29 wickets in the 2021 season. He was a real difference maker with the ball in hand for the Grizzlies. So the fact that Vaghela now on international duty, T20 World Cup qualifiers in Zimbabwe for the USA, having another one of those young spinners to come through the ranks, young left arm spinner as well, who provided the perfect dynamic, perfect all-round combination to that bowling lineup last year. I think Bhatt could now establish himself as a real mainstay in this bowling attack.
He's definitely thrown his hat in the ring, gets an opportunity, grabs it with both hands. First with a bat in hand, and second the suit he was picked up for in the side. 2 important wickets at a time, and the batters are not coming after him. This has been a treat to watch from Sohan Bhatt.
किसान भाई बैकअप कर रहे हो?
Vikash Mohan playing it pretty safe. Man has struck at 171 so far, doing the right thing though. Not too many risks involved. Maneuver the gap well there, able to come back for 2. And that will end the over. So 3 overs remain, just 12 runs needed. 112 for 5.
चाहिए रेडी साथ दो ये ऊपर आता है ऐसा जी ये तो बड़ी अच्छी कौन सी गार्मिन की कौन सी गार्मिन लेट है दो 2 years back
112 for 5. You just think though, Suhas, had they taken a couple early wickets, maybe one of David White or Dayal, how different this game could have been. It's not been the easiest track to score on. Has been that slow nature, and as the day progresses with the afternoon game coming up, it will be very interesting to see. That toss plays such a crucial role in this heat. Isan Adil will come back into the attack. Been a while for him. 3 overs, picked up a wicket.
112.
The Golden State Grizzlies have finally thrown it to Ihsan Adil to try and pick up his 2nd wicket. And in fact, more Sharia Khan in his 2 overs was very expensive. Sami Aslam bowled just 1. Zia Mohammed was amongst the wickets. Sohan Bhatt, so far the pick of the bowlers with his 2 in his quota of 4. Just 19 runs given away by the youngster and 2 big wickets in his kitty. An all-round performance in Adil. He'll be seen rolling his arm over for the final time in this game. An important over coming up as far as the Grizzlies are concerned. They need wickets, and they've turned to the man of the moment. They've turned to the man they so often go to.
He's got to go Yorker, Ihsan Adil. 2 new batters at the crease. You know he won't get much assistance off the surface. He has a 3rd man in place on the boundary, so tells you that he's looking to be very full. Has to attack the stumps. Adil showed his lethal ability in that 6 for 26 he took for the weekend number 1 of this 2022 Toyota Minor League Championship. He's got a deep cover and a 3rd man, so he wants to be very full, operating on that off stump. It's bread and butter for the man from Pakistan. Taken so many T20 wickets, Ihsan Adil. 86 in 68 T20s. What a delivery. Excellent delivery. Just leaving the outside edge of Vikash Mohan.
And this is why he was brought in. He can hit the right lanes. Vikash Mohan just feeling the delivery outside off. Ihsan Adil would be telling himself any other day could have just kissed the outside edge. Don't want an extravagant flash, but just a little kiss of the outside edge would do. As keeper Kandel would just take care of the things. Desperate need of a wicket here.
That delivery, because of that strong wrist, pushing the ball across. Excellent delivery, but can he follow it up with an even better one, a wicket? No, he can't. Another outside edge, another one that beats the outside edge. To cut Vikash Mohan. They have really slowed down though in these last couple of overs. They were 72 after 10. Well on their way, well set, just for 2 wickets down. It's only been 40 runs scored in the next 7 overs. And whilst, yes, that is what's required of the situation, you just thought this was a real opportunity for the Blazers, who, remember, start behind the 8 ball, having lost 2 games coming into this, to get that net run rate boosted. Want to win, of course. That's the most important thing. Of course, you can check the winner of this game out. Check them out in Dafa News after this game. This time, goes length, a bit shorter. Surprised that he's gone that option. Just a single though.
The fact another game is going to be played on the same track is going to be very interesting to watch. The ball's not bouncing as much at times when Ihsan Adil is not providing the pace deliberately and drawing pace off it.
before this over.
So Issa Nadil still looking for that second wicket. 14 wickets though. What a start to the tournament this has been. This weekend though will be a true challenge for him on these surfaces at Morgan Hill. It'll be different for him in terms of that knack for picking up wickets. Brar wants one. Have to hurry but get there in the end. Good comeback though by the Grizzlies in these last couple of overs. You just think though maybe just too little too late. Just 9 needed in 13 balls. I tell you, cricket is a funny game though. If you are the East Bay Blazers and Angelo Pereira, he will be just scratching his head, maybe biting a few nails, a bit nervous. A couple of wickets here. Game on.
Now, wicket is the best form of dot delivery, and that's what they'd want to remind themselves here, Grizzlies. Where is that Yorker hiding? Hassan's big, late swinging Yorker, the guided missile on the toes. Is he loading one?
Oh, good delivery. This one rises off a good length. Mohan does well to get out the way there, but using that bit of extra height, we have seen variable bounce. Issa Nadil, well, produces a spectacular delivery to end the over. That one completely surprised him. Look how much it came in, just deviated into the right-hander. It was all about the line that caused the problem.
You've got to play at it as well. As a batter, you can't leave it alone. 18 overs gone, 116 for 5.
They're just 8 runs now with 2 overs remaining. 4 runs and over. Should be easy going. Just one boundary away as well, you think. From out, Abhinder Singh, who has pulled his leg spin. Sami Aslam has tried to find something from his bowlers. 6 options used. Sohan Bat though, he was a real standout. Something for them to build on going forward. The left arm spinner, the young man, under 19, 2 for 19 in his 4. Just wasn't enough though. Singh continuing. For Vikas Mohan, well, you want to be there to the end, want to hit the winning runs as well. Only been dismissed once in 3 innings in this tournament. That's a gift for Vikas Mohan. Gets away with it as well. Just a single. Full toss bowled by Abhinder Singh.
Bhai Jaba, abhi chal yaar. Come on.
Arshdeep Brar has made his intentions clear. Looking to finish it almost with 1 hit, it seems. Happy to go after the bowling.
Jaba abhi aa bol, shabash. Bowling!
Good bowling from Abhinder Singh. Just wonder though, Suhas, 7 now needed. From 9 deliveries, is there one more twist? Surely not. Things getting a bit too close for comfort. For the Blazers, another dot delivery, 7 from 8.
He's turning the heat up now. Abhinder Singh, by stringing together dot deliveries. Karan's constantly telling him where exactly to pitch. Slightly forward, slightly out of reach.
This time finally able to get it over the bowler. And they come back for 2 as well. That will help their cause. Mohan running to the danger end, did well. Called them in for 2 straight away. Forced the fielder then to have to go to the keeper's end. In the end, a much needed 2 runs. You wouldn't think so given the situation. Have really struggled with this in the last couple of overs since that Angelo Pereira wicket went down. Struggled to find that quick scoring. 5 needed now from 7 deliveries. 1 hit away. Blazers. Or goes to extra cover. Good piece of fielding again. Sami Aslam is a brick wall at extra cover. Can't penetrate. End of the over. 1 remains, 5 to win. Very interesting. 119 for 5.
Isan! 5 runs. Isana!
4 to equal, 5 to win.
Experience bowler.
Well, 1 over remains in this contest. 5 to win from 6 deliveries. Should you think in T20 cricket with 5 wickets in hand, expect that the chasing team to get home from there. But I've seen crazier things in this game.
Looks like it's going to be Shahryar Khan, who hasn't had the best of his games with the ball in hand for sure. But he's got his task cut out. He's done this before. He has done it before in this very tournament, this very season in 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship. A poor over to start with, but a wonderful final over. Is he reading the same script again? Is he going to enact the same script? His cushion, just 4 runs, Nikhil.
Isan Adil doing the right thing. As an experienced man, obviously he's bowled out. Just telling Shahryar Khan the lengths to bowl. In that over, in the 4th over where they are took him for 18 runs, I just felt he was a bit too full. So he's got to bowl to his field, but more importantly, have to try to contain. Every dot ball from this stage now is a very good delivery. Pressure on Khan. Closed out a superb last over against the Michigan Cricket Stars at the Prairie View Cricket Complex. Different situation, different boundaries, different opposition. Mohan will know that he's 1 boundary away from sealing the deal. So coming over the wicket, Shahryar Khan, a man that relies on swing early on with that new ball, not the quickest.
He's got the slower delivery up his sleeve.
Oh, just playing with him at this stage. Mind games, you know the pressure. I don't think Vikas Mohan will be feeling too much at this stage. Less than a run of ball needed. Just 5 runs. You're always in the hunt because you can hit 1 boundary and just level the scores. This time down the ground will just be 1. A good start by Khan. Good length as well. Not too full. Not short enough to hit through the line. So Mohan looking to hit down the ground in that smaller boundary. Just had to settle for a single. Brar now, who comes on strike. He's struggled in his 8 deliveries, just 5 runs.
Brar would be suggesting 1 big hit, 1 that connects. We've always got a feeling that Brar's not gone for the singles, he's always gone for the big shots. Getting too close for comfort indeed. 4 required.
Swing and a miss. Crucial dot delivery. 4 from 4. How did things get this close? They were coasting after the power play, 54 for 1. They were 72 after 10. Well on their way, 100 after 14 overs. Since the 14th over, after some good bowling from the Grizzlies, they've only conceded 20 runs in the next 6.
Won't be surprised if the keeper comes up as well if this one isn't a dot ball. Just get a feeling they're missing a trick over here, the Golden State Grizzlies.
He's got to go wide again to Brar, who hasn't got very close to the line of delivery, which has made it so tough to score. I think Khan will go back to that wide Yorker, wide delivery. Does that, but he's able to squeeze it through. Brar straight to point, but just a single. 3 from 3. Could there be that deadly 2 words that we always ask in T20 cricket? Super over. Could there just be a super over here?
3 required to win, 2 for a super over. 3 deliveries. Well,
we've already seen 3 super overs in this 2022 Toyota Minor League. It's been all over DAFA News how close this tournament has been. We have 1 more twist to the tail. It also tells you how tough run scoring has gotten as the day has gone on, as the surface has got drier. Full toss, Mohan goes big. And an astonishing shot to clear the boundary will seal the deal for the East Bay Blazers. They stuttered, they stumbled to get there, but in the end, quite comfortably over the line by some 5 wickets. And Vikas Mohan, well, he'll feel really good about that to hit the winning runs and get his 3rd not out of this tournament. The Blazers pick up a crucial win, their 4th of the tournament, making noise in that Western Conference.
Vikas Mohan is hit it as if he's saying, what was the fuss about? Who said it was getting close? Gets 1 from the middle of the bat and no chance for long on. Given an option, East Bay Blazers would have wanted to finish this off with at least a couple of overs to spare. Yes, it did go till the end, but that was due to excellent bowling. East Bay Blazers eventually do win by 5 wickets and get a much-needed momentum and get the much-needed 2 points as well.
Well, for the Grizzlies, a lot of thinking to do after this loss. Now they're second, losing their way a bit in the last 3 games, 2 losses and a win. But they'll need to sort of go out to the drawing board and work on that batting. There's been a big reliance on the top 3. When they haven't fired, the batting lineup has struggled. The bowlers, well, they'll be happy about that. Well, the Blazers just needed a couple of important contributions from the top order. White got 37. Dayal, well, he was superb from 30 from 19. And then Vikas Mohan towards the end, finishing it with 14 runs.
They had to be better than this. Golden State Grizzlies. Ehsan Adil picked up a wicket. They needed more from him because the cushion was depleted. Sharia Khan went for runs towards the end too and goes wicketless. While Sohan Butt was the pick of the bowlers. Picked up 2 important wickets and an economy of 4.75 was only bettered by Zia Mohammad Shehzad, the leg spinner. 3.5 for him. In the end, an easy victory.
Well, there you have it. In terms of the Grizzlies, well, just not enough runs. Always going to be tough to defend 6 runs and over against the East Bay Blazers team with David White, with Mark Dayal and Angelo Pereira, the captain. They have a lot of experience, winning in the end. Quite close, but winning by 5 wickets. Here's how things would have unfolded in the innings for the East Bay Blazers. Started with a good burst from the openers, David White and Saidip Ganesh. Ganesh was happy to go after the pace of Ehsan Adil, not fazed by the 13 wickets he took coming into this until one too many, just held out on the circle. Sia Shehzad, stay field and takes the catch. Sher Khan, well, he was taken to the cleaners by Martindale. 18 runs conceded from this 4th over. And you just sensed there was one big over needed, and you just need to score a run a ball. Yeah, well, he fancy the extra. That was a gorgeous shot over cover. Went all the way full. Then Sher Khan, well, he tried to adjust his length, went too short. They have corrected him and did extremely well. Ehsan Adil, well, he tried. That was pure touch timing. Able to just open the face. Martindale again continued well. 22 runs from his first 8 deliveries. Showed his 360-degree capabilities. The man coming from the CPL. What a start to the tournament he's had for this East Bay Blazers team with both bat and ball. David White, though, when they out, was dismissed off the bowling with the left arm spinner bat. David White then would take things over, just beat it for pace. There they are, but David White came in and took the attack. Anything short, he pounced upon the man with the big levers. The man from South Africa, the opener. Played really well, David White, until he just fell. Looking to up the ante, Sanjay Krishnamurti came in and went very quickly, stumped outside the off stump. Angelo Pereira, well, a real uncharacteristic innings from him today. Ended, and towards the end though, they just came back in the game so well. The Golden State Grizzlies, this is a good piece of running by Mohan. Going to the danger end. Sher Khan, well, entrusted with that last over, just too full. Vikas Mohan did the rest, hitting a maximum to win the game for his team, the man from Trinidad. And speaking of those Trinidadian players, before we get to that, that win helps the East Bay Blazers as they now go to 4 wins, a very tightly contested Western Conference, tied now with the Golden State Grizzlies in terms of points. They'll be very happy about that in the top Pacific Conference. So here we have, we mentioned the Trinidadian influence, was one himself. Today's player of the match, 30 from 19 deliveries from Mark Dayal, as well as a wicket, a crucial wicket of Sami Aslam. Mark, you must be very happy with your performances overall in this 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship.
Oh yes, definitely. You know, firstly, I just want to say, I want to give God all your praise and thanks for this, you know, wonderful opportunity. Yeah, basically, since I've been up here, I've been having a really nice time with both bat and ball. You know, again, as coming across as one of the overseas professionals, you know, you need to care about yourself as a professional. You know, we know how this game goes, but I'm just happy thus far that I've been going well.
Tell me about the plan early to get Sami Aslam, the left-hander. You know how important the captain is in terms of their batting approach. First over were brought on, and you got the wicket straight away. What was the plan to him?
Basically, speaking to Angie and the other guys, I wasn't too adverse in knowing this guy. So I took a lot of advice from the other guys. Basically it was just to start well in the power play. We know how important he is for them. So basically my job is just really to contain as much as I can. Going into the power play, don't go looking for wickets, because that's when you start to go for runs. So for me, basically, it was just to stay tight, keep a tight line. I know he likes to sweep a lot, kind of stay wicket to wicket, hopefully. He miss, I hit, that kind of thing.
Now tell me about your batting. 30 from 19 on a surface which proved to be a bit tough to score on. Here's some of your highlights in terms of what you were able to do. But you just seemed from the very onset to have a clear plan in terms of attack.
Yeah, basically, that's been my plan going since the tournament began. Batting the power play, it's pretty clear. This is what I kept telling the guys in our team as well. When you bat in the power play, it's a very clear mindset you have. The feel is up. You don't want to be going half-hearted at it. You make up your mind early. But that being said, I was just trying to play. As much as it looked at overly attacking, for me, it's just sticking to my strengths. And once the ball is there in my zone, just go for it. Simple as I told, when Ishan came back for the third over, I told White, just let's see him out, because obviously this is his third over that brought him back for a wicket. And the second ball I hit him over cover. But because, and Whitey even reminded me, said, hey mate, you remember what you said? But again, it wasn't my strength. So, basically batting the power play for me is just about sticking to my strengths more than anything else.
Finally, Mark, how much have you enjoyed this added responsibility? You, Angelo Pereira, David White, some of the main leaders in this team with your international experience, how much have you enjoyed the role this so far in the 6 games?
Oh, honestly, I've taken to it pretty well. This is something I've always liked. I like responsibility. I like being a leader. I like the leadership roles. If it may not be in a captain, but there are other leaders. You can be other leaders within a team. And for me, as you can see, my batting and bowling has come along really well throughout this tournament. And the leadership has given me a sense of maturity as well, to know that I have some added responsibility to help my team get over the line. So for me, I'm enjoying it.
Well, there you have it. Today's player of the match, Mark Dayal for the East Bay Blazers, helping them get up to their 4th win. It's a fantastic performance for you, Mark. Thanks and all the best.
Thank you very much.
Well, later today, you don't go anywhere in this 2022 Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Sunoco. The Silicon Valley Strikers, the defending champions, up against the San Diego Surf Riders. You don't want to miss that. Coming to you live, 2:30 p.m. Pacific time. Well, really has been truly fantastic to watch in this first game. But don't go anywhere, don't go too far, because quick time will be back for the second game. What a thrill it was between two stacked teams at the top of the table in the Western Conference. We see you soon for action. Continue from Morgan Hill.
You're watching the Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship, presented by Sunoco.